Hello, everyone. Welcome back. Sorry, that was my brutal mistake. Instead of sharing the screen, I ended the meeting. Sorry about that. Okay, so everyone, just look at this. So right here, I can. So first of all, let's look at the diagram. The diagram is that there has to be one, two, three, four, five switches, five different switches, and on each switch there will be two uplink ports. So what two ports are here, two ports are here, two ports are here, and two ports are on this switch, two ports are on this switch, and then there should be one port group on each switch. So this is one port group, management port group on this switch. This is one management port group on this switch. And this is one management port group on this switch. So Wasim, are you here? Wasim, can you hear me?
Yes, sir, I can hear you.
Okay. And you are all able to see the screen as well, right?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay, excellent. So Wasim, in your case, what happened is that you did everything right, but you did it in one switch. So you have one V switch 0, and in the same switch, you created different port groups. So management, low priority, high priority, those are all the port groups in one switch. And you have 6 network cards in one switch. Can you see
Okay.
the thing?
Yes. Now I totally got your point, sir. You are absolutely right. That in the first photo in the picture, you are asking 5 different switches, right? Not one switch and 8 ports.
Which picture? The same, this picture or,
The
or
no,
another
the
picture?
bottom one, the bottom one, the
Oh,
bottom
this
one.
one, this one.
You see?
Yes,
You see,
yes,
the management has a different switch, vMotion has different switch, production has different switch, and SCSI and TestDev has different switches, right?
exactly,
So
exactly,
you are
yes.
absolutely right. Whatever I did based on the second photo
Yes, sir.
instead of doing the
I
first
got
one,
it. I got it. I
right?
got it.
And
Okay,
Yeah.
also,
okay.
sir, uh, we
And
cannot
that's my mistake, sir. I'm telling you, that's my mistake.
Okay, that's
Uh,
fine. As long as you understand, that's fine.
yeah,
That's excellent.
yeah.
Sure.
also, sir, we can also just create four, like 8 switches, not 10, because one is, I think, built-in switch and one is extra.
Yes, sir. We cannot go more than
Eight
eight net
switches.
cards or 10. Maximum 10. It allows each server.
Yes, 10 network, 10 uplinks are allowed on each server.
Yes.
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 So, but this is why we added 2 network cards to one switch. Okay.
So, sir, based on the bottom, the first photo, then my network should be more bigger than what it is right now.
So based on
The,
this picture or this
no,
picture?
second one, second one, second one.
Second, yes, yes, for
Yeah,
sure, for sure.
yeah,
Then on the
yes.
same diagram, you will see 5 different switches with all of the
Hmm.
ports.
Yes.
Okay.
So, sir, as far as the procedure and the process is same, then I can do it. It's not a
Yes,
big
yes,
deal then,
yes, for sure,
right?
for sure. Since you
Yeah,
did this
yeah,
one, you
yeah,
will be able to do this one as well.
yes, yes.
Okay. Okay, excellent. And anyone else wants to share their screen? Alamgir, you did this lab?
Yes, sir, we did together, yeah, but my server is kind of like,
Sir, we did
it
absolutely
is
the
down.
same thing. I'm telling
Okay,
you.
you did absolutely
Yeah.
the same thing. Okay, excellent.
Yes.
What about Ashish? Ashish, you did this lab? Ashish, are you online?
She's walking his dog, sir.
Okay. Okay. Ashish is not here. Salim, were you able to complete the lab?
He did with us.
Yes, yes, sir. I did with the Wasim bhai and Batti bhai.
Okay, excellent. And Zishan, what about you?
Sir, I did half of the job, but I know the procedure. I can do it, sir, because I'm sorry for that today. I mean, this week was very busy. So I did half of the job, sir.
So half of the job meaning that you created 3 switches or you created one switch? Guys,
Sir,
please
I
mute your mic, everyone, because I'm hearing myself back.
sir, I
Thank you.
added and I make it the switches, but I didn't make it port group, sir.
So you made switches, but you never made the port groups.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Will you be able to show your screen?
So let me check because my laptop see.
Okay, no problem. Make your machine ready. Make your machine
Yeah,
ready, and then I'll have a look at it.
sure,
Okay.
sure.
What about Human? Human, were you able to do the lab? Okay, Human is logged in, but maybe talking in mute. Faz, were you able to complete the lab? Okay.
So can you hear me now?
Yes, yes, we can hear you.
So no, I didn't do the lab, sir, because I was coming very late from my warehouse because of the busy season, sir. So
Okay,
it
the
was
holiday
very late,
season.
sir. Yeah, Saturday, Sunday, sir, I will have time, sir. I'm very honest with you. I
Okay,
was not unable to do it because
okay, that's fine. Uh, okay,
I understand the concept and I did it in the class by adding last time, so I know it. But
okay. But hold on. Okay, so it is very, very important for me that everyone in this training needs to do the lab. It is very, very important for me.
Sir, would you mind if I just quickly explain? Maybe if I'm wrong, you can correct me in just
Yes,
one
please go ahead.
minute. So, sir, first of all, on EXI host, we need to um, increase the memory to 12 GB, and then need to add disks, maybe 10 NIC cards, and then need to add one 100 GB hard drive. And after that, we have to go to the vCenter, and after we log in, we just need to create first of all some VMs, and after VMs, we just need to create uh, sorry, virtual switches and name them. And after that, we need to create port groups. After that, we need to go to the VM and go to the edit settings. And from there, we need to add, add them into the groups in whatever the priority groups are. And from there, we just need to after that, we just need to uplink the switches. So after that, I think this process is done.
Absolutely. Absolutely. This is the right process. But the first thing is you don't have to have 12 GB for ESXi host. 12 GB is only required for the ESXi host that has vCenter. Otherwise, the second ESXi host and the third ESXi host, they can live with 4 GB or they can even live with 2 GB as well. So you don't have to have 12 GB for all the ESXi hosts. Rest of the process is same.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Sir,
Okay.
Sir,
can I
I
show
have a
you my
question.
screen?
Okay.
Yes, Ishan, please share your screen.
Okay, sir.
Sir, I forgot you told how to uh, disconnect the,
Sir, you're
cards.
disabled. Host disabled.
Oh, sorry about that. Now you can do it.
Okay. Yeah. So yeah, you can check. Might be I am wrong,
Okay.
but yeah,
So right here, I can see one switch. This is V switch 0. There are 3 network cards
yeah,
and there are port groups. So can you go to networking? Click on networking on the other side, networking up.
yeah.
Yeah,
So
this one. And here are V switches. Very good. So you made the V switches.
yes, sir.
So one V switch for management, V motion production. Yes, that's good. So you created
Yeah,
all of the V switches, and
yes, sir.
then in the port groups. So the second thing was to create it. Go to the port groups.
Yes, sir.
So these are the same port group that we made in the last class. Okay, so that's fine.
Yeah,
I mean, since
yeah,
you started
yeah.
creating the switches, that's
Yes, sir.
that's fine. That's excellent.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
Sir, I
Ne-
have question.
yes, please go ahead.
Sir, in physical environment, every switch has like minimum 24 ports or 48 ports, right?
Right.
But in virtual environment, in this VMware, why we are adding switches? Instead of adding switches, why don't we give one switch and assign the ports to different servers?
Yes. So you're saying that why can't we just create port groups and then divide the ports? Yes, this can be done. This can be done as well. This is just for the lab practice. That you can
Okay.
create many switches inside based on
Hmm.
whatever the requirement is. Yes,
Okay.
most of the time you might have only one switch or maybe two switches. But if you are able to understand and create 5 different switches and then divide them
Mhm.
with port groups, it means that you do know what is going on and then you can create any configuration.
Yes, that is true. That is true.
Okay.
Sir, I want to ask one thing. So this network card which I entered, it's showing here like all 8. Okay, but it's not showing. Just a moment, sir. The card which I have added, sir, it is showing, but it's not showing here, sir. It's showing here only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
These are 5 port groups.
No, I mean, sir, the card which I've added, I wanted to know, sir, it's not
The
showing.
physical card, physical NIC.
Yes, sir.
So go
Yeah,
to physical NIC.
yes, sir.
These are
This
all
one.
your physical NICs here.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
And these physical NICs are available to be attached to different switches. So you can click on virtual switch, click on virtual switch.
Okay.
And then inside, go into any other switch, go to management switch.
Okay, sir.
And in the management switch, add on uplink. Click add uplink. No, at the top. Yes.
Okay. Okay.
And here you can see different network cards. So here you have uplink 1 and uplink 2. And if you just click in front of the VMNIC 3, click on that box. Yes, click here.
Okay.
Here you see all your other NICs. So other NICs,
All 9.
yes.
Yeah.
So which means you have NICs available. You can assign it to anyone later on.
So these
Perfect.
are not in use, right, sir?
These are not in use. Yes, these all
Which
are not in use.
I have added, it is showing here, sir, right?
Yes, which you have added. They are showing here. Now you can go to each switch and then assign
Okay.
2 NICs to each switch. So you have assigned 2 NICs to this switch, and then you can go to the other switch and then assign 2 NICs to that. So that's how it is.
For example, I have assigned this 3 to here, sir. So I need to save, right?
So change. So you can have 2 uplinks. So change this to maybe 4, 3, and 8. Yeah, whatever is
8.
available.
8.
Click 8 and then
Yeah.
save. So
Right.
now
Okay.
here you see two of the NICs are here, and
Yes,
3
sir.
of the
Here.
NICs are on the other switch, and same like
Okay.
that you have all the switches with all other NICs.
Okay. Right.
Okay.
Right. Okay.
Okay.
Right. Thank you.
Okay, Ashish, are you online?
Yes, sir.
Okay, excellent. I was calling your name. Were you not here?
Yeah, actually, I just got disconnected. My internet got disconnected, so I had to reconnect again.
Okay. Ashish, were you
Yeah.
able to complete this lab?
I am actually just starting my machines again. They were connecting about like 6 cards, but I added another 4. So I'm just basically checking. I'm logging in right now.
Okay,
So,
excellent. As soon as you're
So
ready,
me
just
and
just
me
share
and
with me.
Ashish sir did the same thing. So we have already worked and almost done, but I don't know what happened with this machine right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Try spending more time, guys. Try spending more time in the lab. Yes. Yes. Please go ahead.
Can I share my screen, sir?
Yes. Now you can share your screen.
Is it showing, sir?
It's your, yes, we can see your screen.
So these are the
switches. Okay,
Yes.
that's good. And you haven't attached any port group. So I mean, just looking at this. Yes.
Yes, sir.
Go back to the same screen. Go back to the same screen, please. Yes. So right here, if you see right in front of the switches, it says vSwitch 0 has 5 port groups. And vSwitch 1 has 2 port groups. And vSwitch 2 has 3 port groups. And vSwitch 3 has 4 port groups. And vSwitch 4 has 5 port groups. And vSwitch 5 has 6 port groups. And vSwitch 5 has 7 port groups. And vSwitch 7 has 8 port groups. And vSwitch 8 has 9 port groups. And vSwitch 9 has 10 port groups. And vSwitch 10 has 11 port groups. And vSwitch 11 has 12 port groups. And vSwitch 12 has 13 port groups. And vSwitch 13 has 14 port groups. And vSwitch 14 has 15 port groups. And vSwitch 15 has 16 port groups. And vSwitch 16 has 17 port groups. And vSwitch 17 has 18 port groups. And vSwitch 18 has 19 port groups. And vSwitch 19 has iSCSI switch has 0 port group, test dev has 0 port group, production has 0 port group. So which means, and there are uplinks as well. So if we can match, I mean, right from this screen, you can see everything, the complete configuration. So right here, I mean, based on our diagram, yes, you do have 5 switches, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, actually 5 switches based on the diagram. But next thing is you need to have 1 port group on each. So this 0 needs to be 1 and 2 uplinks to each one of them. So if we can just match this with the picture, you can see right from here everything.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So yes, Faz and everyone, I do understand that everyone is busy, but these labs are very important, guys. Without practical, it will be really difficult. Abdullah, what about your lab? So I'm going to share my screen. Thank you, Faz.
Okay, sir. Stop sharing.
Abdullah, are you online? Okay. Um, Human, are you back
Yes,
online?
sorry, no, no, I was
It's okay.
unmuting myself.
It's okay. Sure.
Yeah.
So,
So,
yes, go ahead, please.
yeah, so you're asking about my lab things. So
Eh,
I'm not following on the lab instruction what you have given to complete the labs. I don't want to give an excuse, but I have a plan to do it this weekend. I have done 3 labs, starting 3 labs, but
Mm-hmm.
then from that time I was busy with my job related works.
Mm-hmm.
But I will try to do this weekend.
Okay. Okay, that's fine. I can understand. Uh, okay. And Asher, you can also let me know in the chat window if you can let me know what is your lab status. Okay. So everyone, we were working on switches, networking last week. The thing is, it's very, very important. Market is really, 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 really competitive at this time. At this time, due to COVID, there are literally, there are thousands and thousands of IT professionals sitting at home doing nothing. Job market is really, really tough. So for that reason, we have to have everything on our fingertips. I mean, we cannot afford to lose interviews. So the situation will get better for sure. I mean, due to COVID, everything is slowing down, but eventually it will get out of this. Eventually, 4 months, 5 months, it will get out of this, inshallah. But for that, we need to be ready, and the time is passing like crazy. Time is very, very fast, and I'm not, I mean, this is not at all TED talks here. My concern, everyone, is that everyone needs to complete. So the time that we have in between, I know everyone is busy, job, family, and everything, but this is very, very important. So if you can sacrifice your 1 hour of sleep here and there, you need to complete the lab. You need to complete the lab. If you're stuck anywhere, WhatsApp group is open. Take a picture and share it with everyone. I'm stuck here. What should I do? And if somebody doesn't reply, please do not mind. Do not be offended, because if nobody's replying, then you have other resources. You can also send a voice message if you don't want to talk. That this is the picture and I'm stuck here. If somebody can please help me, that's fine. You can just ask for help in here or in the IT forum as well. So whoever is available, they'll reply back. But the important thing is that we need to do the lab. So next week, guys, I don't want to hear any excuse at all. You need to spend at least 2 hours after this class, maybe before the next lecture. And please do not come with an excuse. Labs must be completed, because the reason is, the information is piling up. It's just information piling up. ESXi host installation, vCenter installation, networking, and today we'll be working with storage. That will be another part. And then advanced topics of VMware. Everything is piling up. And right after that, there is Azure. Once you start Azure, everyone, once you start Azure, there is no time for VMware. Just like there is no time for Active Directory now, there is no time for DHCP now, there is no time for anything that we have learned in the past. You have the custom lab, yes, you can do it, but you don't have time to do these current lab. How can you do the other labs as well? Okay, so please understand my point here. We have very less time now, and within this less time, we need to take advantage. And the only way we can do it, guys, only way we can do it, the only way I do it is that I'm running multiple things here and there. But at the same time, I take my time out for this class. Also, I take my time out for other classes. This is, I mean, I'm doing it because this is my responsibility. I have to do it. I mean, even though I have 100 reasons to cancel the class, that, you know, okay, I will cancel the class today and then I'll do it in the next week, no problem. It's just a training. No, it's not like that. It's that I take it really seriously. You all are here. You all sacrifice your time. But guys, when you don't do the lab, that really breaks my heart. So for that reason, please take out time, sacrifice your, this is the time to sacrifice your sleep and everything. However you can do it, I need to see the lab. Even if you do it wrong, that is fine. But I have to know that you have spent time with the lab. Okay, excellent, guys. Uh, okay, so guys, this lab, there are 5 switches in this, and there are 10 network cards in here, and I will just quickly show it to you. So my screen, you can see my screen here. So what I can do is I can just create one switch right here so that you can have an example and you can follow this example. And at the same time, guys, we keep on looking at the architecture. We keep on looking at the architecture. My architecture is this. So I'm looking at the architecture right here. This is my architecture that I need to look at. So for example, if I need to make a first switch, this is V switch 0. There are 2 network cards and 1 management port group. So I'll start slow on this, and I'm just going to create one switch for your for the example. And guys, this was the simple example. This was a simple assignment. The next assignment that you had to do, which was this one. This is a bit complicated assignment, and you can see that if you're not able to complete the first assignment, how can you do this assignment? So for that reason, guys, I need you to maybe maybe when you come back from work, take a half an hour sleep, put an alarm on. I know that after 8 hours of work, it happens every day with me as well. I mean, I'm not different from you. I'm exactly like you, but and I know it's difficult with everything. So make an alarm, help others. I mean, ask your family to wake you up at this time. You need to have 1 hour of lab. You need to have 1 hour of lab. Call the other guy, call your group mate and ask him, you know, you have to be available and all that. So next week, please do no excuses, no excuses, or otherwise, I mean, with a broken heart, with really a broken heart, guys, with a broken heart, please do not join the class next time if the lab is not completed. So I mean, without the lab, I mean, this is nothing. You just keep on getting information, and this won't help you out for sure. Okay. So everyone, yes, please go ahead. Whoever has a question.
Adnan bhai, so I connected all the cards. So 4 of them are connected right now, but the rest of them are not for some reason. I don't know why.
Yes, because they need to be connected. So I'm going to show you how that works. So I'm going to create
Okay.
one switch, and I'm going to create one port group and the network card. Okay. So I am on my ESXi host right here. So I'm on ESXi host right here. And here I can, first of all, this is my server. On the server, I need to know how many physical cards I have. So there are 2 ways to do that. One way is going into the setting, or the quick way is that I can just look at this taskbar, actually status bar here. So this one is known as status bar, and here up this is a toolbar you can call this a taskbar as well here, but this is a status bar. On this status bar, I can see there are 4 network cards available. So 4 network cards are here. And so from these 4 network cards, I can attach them to different switches so that I know that on this switch, there are 4 network cards. Now, I will connect to this ESXi host. And since I'm focusing on networking, so my focus is everything, my focus is on networking. I'm not looking at anything else other than networking. So here I can see that this is V switch 0. There are 5 port group and there are 2 uplinks attached to this switch. And the 2 other network cards are attached to this other switch. Okay, so now let's say if I go into this switch here and I remove one of the uplinks from here. So I'll go into the settings of this switch, and from this switch, I can remove one of the network card. I'm saying that this switch will have only one network card. So I saved it. Now here I can see that it is refreshing and one of the cards should be removed. So one of the card is removed, which means that that leaves me 1 network card available on this switch. So out of 4 network cards, 3 network cards are connected and 1 network card is just sitting there doing nothing. So for that, I can go back to networking now. And within the networking, I can first of all go to physical switches and see how many network cards are there. It's saying that there are 4 network cards starting from 0, 1, 2, 3. Now, how do you know that which network card is not connected? So the only way to find out is when you go to a different switch. So for example, if I go here within switches, within virtual switch, I can see that here there is no network card and there is no port group. So based on our example, I'm going to go back to the architecture. I'm going to create a new switch called for the management, this switch. So for that, and then I'm going to add 1 network card to that as well. So let's create one standard switch. So I'm creating one standard switch and I'm going to name this management. So that switch is, this is a management switch, and here automatically it is giving me the card that is available. So the only card that is available is right here. If there would have not been any card available, then it would not show me anything. So here I will add this switch. So it will create a switch and add that vacant network card here. So Ashish, does that now answers your question?
Yes, sir. Makes sense. Thank you.
Okay, you're most welcome. So right here now, if I create now, this is done. This management switch I've created. So I'm going to create the other management switch, which is called vMotion switch. So this is vMotion. I still have to do one task here, which is creating a port group for this. So let's complete this one switch first. So I have this management switch ready. Now I need to attach a port group to that. Why do I have to attach a port group? Because based on the architecture diagram, there is this, I can see this one port here, which means that for one port, I have to have a port group because port cannot be created without a port group. So which means one port group will be here, one port group will be here, and one port group will be here, one port group will be here. So now I'm going to create a port group for management, and that is easy. So as you can see, guys, go slow according to the diagram. So here here I don't have a port group. So for that, I'm going to go into the port group and create a port group called management. So here I'm going to just create a port group called management. And this will be part of which switch? My management switch. So the switch that I just created, and that's it. So as soon as I add this port group now, so this configuration is done. So now this configuration is done. The only thing is that I don't have a second network card, but we can add a second network card and attach to this. But this configuration is done. Once this is done and you make sure in ESXi host this is done, you can just tick mark this and move on to the next one. So this is how you can do this is how in the real environment we do the implementation as well. Go one by one. Do not do everything at one time. So for example, you can create 5 switches at the same time, but this this will complicate the situation. I mean, it will be difficult for you to remember which port group and which switch, and it will there is a chance that you'll be confused when making these settings. So go one by one. So I just completed this setting. Now I can create the second switch.
Sir, I have one question. Sir,
Yes.
after adding this port group, we have to add two NIC card as well. So, for example, if I need to add two NIC cards, so what should I do after this?
Two NIC cards meaning, okay, so there are two types
Yeah.
of network cards here. There is
Yeah.
physical network card and VM
Oh,
network card. Okay.
okay.
So you're talking
Right.
about the physical network card?
Yeah, same, sir. As per the architecture. If
Okay,
I
so
need to,
physical
yeah,
network card, right? So
yeah, yeah.
physical, if you need more physical network card, then so for this switch, so in
Okay.
my case, I don't have any other physical network card. So what I can do is, now my second step will be that to add two physical network card before I can add another switch. So for that, I will
Mhm.
have to go to the ESXi host and go to the settings,
Yeah,
and within the setting, then I'll have to add it and then
two.
restart the ESXi host as well.
Perfect.
So for
Okay.
the network cards, you can add all the 10 network cards in one shot and restart the
Yeah.
ESXi host so that you can divide them among switches.
Okay. Sir, I
Okay.
have network card. So what should I do? Like if I need to add two physical
Okay.
network card in, yeah.
Yes. So if you have two physical network cards, you can, so here, let me add two more network cards here before I can show it to you. So here, one network card, and I'm going to add second network card.
Uh, can I ask a question?
Yes, Faz, you may ask a question while I'm adding the network card.
Sir, I had already added 10 network adapters, network cards, and I'm trying to make a port group, but all of them are being added to the virtual switch which we did in the class, sir. It's not being added to one of the switches, sir.
The new switch that you just added, right?
No, I have already 5 switches, but I added 6 more network cards. So in total, there are 10 network cards. So I'm trying to make port group, but port group is not being added to uh, the switch on which I want to do. It's being added to the virtual switch 0, sir.
Okay, okay,
Can you
just a
understand
second.
my question, sir?
Yes, yes, I can understand your question, but I have to look at your screen. I have to look at your screen. Just a second. Just a second. Let me start this. So so this ESXi host is starting up. Before that, let me go back to Zishan's question. Zishan, your question was that you have a network card available, but you're not able to connect it to the vSwitch, right?
Yeah, sir. Yeah.
Okay. So while my ESXi host is restarting, can you quickly share your screen?
Yes, sir. Why not? Sure. Yes, sir. Sir, yeah. So, sir, one port group and one uplink as per the architecture.
Okay, very good. And what's your question?
Sir, I need to add two NIC card, like two network card.
Okay, so first of all, let me show me how many physical NICs you have available. So go to the physical NIC.
Yeah. Physical NIC, sir.
Yes, here. So you have so many NICs available. Okay.
Yeah.
Now go back to the switch, virtual switch. And within the virtual switch,
Yeah.
so out of your all network cards, 5 of them are attached to vSwitch 0. And
Right.
three of the network cards are attached to vSwitch 0. So this is uplink. Under the uplink, whatever you see are the network cards. And rest of the network card is attached to all your other switches.
Okay. Right. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Right. And now what is your question?
Sir, as per the architecture,
Mm-hmm.
I have done half of my job, like management, one port group, one uplink, and you mentioned that two switch. So I need to generate this two NIC card, two physical network card in this management.
Yes. So on the management, you can have a one port group, and and you need one more card attached to the management, right?
Right. Yes, sir.
Okay. So for that, you need to go into management, click on management,
Okay.
and add uplink. So add uplink right here. Yeah.
Okay.
Add uplink, and
Yeah.
here you have two network port, you have two uplinks already attached to this.
Yes.
And so just click save, just click save on this. And now it should show you two network cards. So your management switch configuration is completed. You have one
Architecture done,
port
sir.
group. Yes, architecture done for this. And same
Okay.
thing you need to go do for vMotion. So click
vMotion,
on
sir.
vMotion and add a uplink.
Yes, sir.
And here, just click save. So
Here it's two.
Yeah, two network
Okay.
cards. So click save
Okay,
on
sir.
this. So which means that this one is also, this one is, there are two uplinks based on our architecture, but you still
But
need to create a port group.
port group. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
so for
port
that,
group
you need to go to port group, create a new port
and
group called vMotion.
vMotion.
Yes.
Yeah. Right,
Okay.
sir. And here vMotion I have to select.
Excellent. Yes,
Yeah.
that's what it
Done.
is. Okay.
Sir, understood. I have understood. I'll
Okay.
do it, sir, now. Yeah.
Excellent.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. And Faz, what was your question?
Sorry, sir. Can you repeat that
My
process?
question was,
if you don't mind.
I've done the first stage.
Okay, I will show you the process, Ashish. Yes.
But then trying to add port groups, they're not being added to the one on which it is intended.
Yeah, share your screen, please. Share your screen. And also, Faz, you need to keep your mic close to you.
Sir, I have a question.
Yes, please
Physical
go ahead.
NICs, physical NICs and physical adapters. Like you can call them adapters and you can call them NICs. Same way, you can call physical VM adapters and VM NICs, right?
Yes, so VM and NICs are called virtual NICs, and the physical NICs that are connected to ESXi host are called physical NICs.
So did you hear my question?
Adapters are same physical adapters.
Exactly, same thing.
Okay,
Did you
thank you.
hear my question, sir?
No, we cannot see your screen. I have to I've stopped sharing my screen, and you need to show your screen.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
So these are the ones. These are the ones which I've done, sir.
Okay.
But I'm trying to add port group, but they're not being added to the one which is intended. Like the vMotion, I want to add one port group.
Okay. So yes, so go to port group first. Go to the port group. So when you need to create a port group, you need to be in the port group and add a port group.
Okay.
Add a port group called vMotion. Let's say you need to add it to the vMotion switch. Right. And then, no. Hold on. Okay. Now go back to the port group, click on the port group because you have, no, not here. Yeah. Yes. And here now edit settings. Edit setting code you added it to, so this needs to be added to the vMotion switch, not the vSwitch 0.
Okay. This was the problem, yes, sir. So how do we go from here?
Okay, hold on. Click on this. Click on virtual switches. Click on virtual switch in front of the virtual switch.
This one?
Go back to edit setting and click in front of the virtual switch right here. The third one. Okay, so this is actually attached to vSwitch 0. Close this.
This was the problem, sir. All the port groups were being added to the virtual switch 0, sir.
That's fine. So cancel this. Go back to port group.
Port group, okay.
And right click on this. Right click on vMotion port group. And remove.
Okay, remove. Okay.
Yes. Remove and recreate.
Okay.
And before saving, change the virtual switch under this.
Okay.
Okay, this is how you do it. So first you need to create a switch, then you need to create a port group, attach it to the vSwitch, and then that's it. And then attach physical NICs. 4-step process.
Okay. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Okay, you're welcome. Okay, so let's quickly understand that right from here, everyone. Ashish, what was your question?
I just wanted to see how you uplink for the NIC.
For the network card. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so I am here on the whiteboard. So ESXi host. This is my ESXi host. It's a bit blurred. Let me just make some, add some colors to this. So this is my ESXi host here, guys. Now, in order to understand the networking part, so in order to understand the networking part, all we need to do is to understand the basics here. Now, in the physical environment, we have switches. So in the physical environment, there are switches like these that connects to servers. So this is a physical environment. So in here, if I go, so normally all of the machines are connected to the network. So this switch, this server is connected to this switch. What about our home networking, guys? Our home networking, all of our routers are connected to your, all of our router are connected to internet through the ISP router. So let's say let's assume this is an ISP router, and we are all connected to internet. So at the moment, we are all connected to internet right from the your laptop and connected to ISP router to internet. And this is Wi-Fi. So this is Wi-Fi. So Wi-Fi are connected, and in the physical network we have wires that connects to the switch. But in the but in our virtual networks we have switches inside the server. So this is a server, and within this server we have virtual switches. Okay, and guys, it's not really difficult to understand. So this is a switch inside, and inside the switch we need to, so first of all, the switch that we create, that switch has no port. So for that we add a port group. If you need to have even one port in this, we need to create a port group. So first you create a switch, number one. Second, we create a port group. Second, you create a port group and then attach to this switch, just like in FAS in the lab that where we connected a port group from to the switch in the ESXi host that FAS created. In the same one, what we did, we created a port group and then we attach it to the vMotion switch. And the last thing that you need to do is attach the physical NICs together. So then you have physical NICs that we add to the switch. So on this ESXi host, by default, there is one physical NIC. We can add 10 physical NICs here. So these are all the physical NICs, and two of the NICs will be attached to this. So first, add a NIC to ESXi host. This is number one. Second, you can create a switch, which is a switch. Third, you can create a port group, and your lab will be ready. So these three steps you need to do for all of them. That's it.
Assalamualaikum Adnan bhai.
Yes, please go ahead. Walaikum salam, Naveed.
Adnan
How are
bhai,
you?
I'm really good, sir. Thank you so much. Adnan bhai, can you please explain this once again with a more bigger and a clean diagram, please?
Um, okay, sure.
Sir,
Yes, please
I
go ahead.
need one small. Sir, I want to share my screen. I need to ask one small thing, sir. Can I share
Yes,
you?
yes, please go ahead.
Sorry, see. Sir, I've deleted this three uplinks from here. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So it is available now. So, for example, sir, if I have to add in this production
Switch.
uplink, sir. I mean switch or whatever, sir. Like because sir, now I have added because it's not showing more than two, sir, due to availability of switch, sir. That's why.
So tell
For
me
example, sir, yeah.
how many uplinks do you see here?
Sir, two in management,
Mm-hmm.
two in vMotion,
Mm-hmm.
four and two in production. I have increased because at that time I was not able to increase, but when I deleted from here, two, then it's showing here. So I've increased two as per the
Okay, that's
architecture.
fine. That's fine.
Yeah.
Yes.
But sir, if I want to add here, so it's depend upon the availability of switch, right, sir?
It depends on the availability of the NICs.
Next, right? Because if I want to add in this, sir, uplink, so it is not. It is showing only two. And
Yes.
for example, if I need to add three, so it's not possible until unless I have to increase one more NIC, sir.
Exactly. Exactly.
Right, sir?
That's the case. Yes.
So it will be. It is showing now two more, sir.
It won't show. It won't show any more than what you already have. So let's count them. So in
Yeah.
your uplinks, we have 1, then 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So all the
Yeah.
10 network cards
Yeah.
are attached to all the switches. Now there are no more network cards attached.
So as per your architecture, did I? I mean, I have done my project, sir.
As per the architecture, you have so 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Yes. So this is
Yeah.
maximum you can go.
Yeah.
Now here, this is not as per the architecture. Why? Because we have
Yes, sir.
vSwitch 0 as well. vSwitch 0
Yes,
has
sir.
one and iSCSI switch that we
Yes.
created in the previous class. If
Yes,
you
sir.
delete those two switches, then
Mhm.
your architecture will be complete.
Right. Or I have to generate one more ESXi host, and with the help of this one, then I can generate one more. So, I mean, as per the architecture, right, sir?
Exactly, exactly. You can do the same lab in the next ESXi host.
Right, sir.
Okay.
Right.
So I
Okay,
have a
sir.
question here.
Thank you,
Yes,
sir.
please. Yes, please go ahead.
Before Zishan by hang up. So V switch is a built-in switch, right?
vSwitch 0 is a built-in switch. Yes.
Okay. If you by mistake, as I asked, if you delete it,
Mm-hmm. Then
so
you'll have to recreate it.
how you gonna recreate it?
So
Just in the
so
ESI like server?
in ESXi host, you need to recreate the switch, and also you need to reattach your VMs to that. So if okay, so switch to your screen. Switch to your screen. I mean, share your screen. And Naveed, were you able to complete the lab architecture since you joined late? You missed the TED talk that I did before.
Yes, Kambi, I missed the first part for today's class, today's session.
Okay, so I'm just calling my
Yeah.
talks TED talks, guys. I'm just being, it's just a joke. Uh, okay, so
Sir, today, and sir, we disappoint you today. So, really sorry. Inshallah, next time, sir, we will definitely take care for the project, sir.
I mean, these are small little labs. At the
Yes,
end,
sir.
then you'll have to
Yes,
do the
sir.
custom lab. It will be a bit
Yeah.
difficult. So that's my point. So my question to Naveed is, Naveed, were you able to complete the lab architecture, or were you stuck somewhere, or you were busy, not able to do it? Which one is the
No,
option?
Tanvi, I was stuck somewhere, but I was able to do that.
Okay,
And
you were
second,
able to
that
complete the 5 switches.
yes, I was able to. Sorry, which switches are we talking about?
The architecture diagram that we shared last time. You had to create 5 switches.
Yes, I created two of them, but something happened with my whole server, so I have to redo it today.
Okay,
And
excellent.
yes, so but I'm working on it. I will be able to do it.
Okay,
But
that's
one
good.
thing, if you can do us a favor or do me a favor, uh, if you can re-explain that diagram
I
on the
will. I
screen,
will. Right after that.
so that
Right
is
after
more
that.
for me. Honestly,
I
yeah.
will. I
Thank you.
will for sure. Okay.
Just a
Okay. So everyone, we do see a problem now, and so we need to troubleshoot and fix this problem. The problem is that accidentally, Alamgir deleted vSwitch 0. I mean, vSwitch 0, deleting vSwitch 0 means that your VCSA, which is vCenter, is now without a network. So
yes.
we'll try to fix that. First of all, let's go to VMs. Let's go to VMs. So first of all, let's go to in your ESXi host.
Yes,
Just
sir.
click on virtual machine.
Okay.
Or let me try to see that if I can get a control on this, because
Thank you, sir. Actually, you know what? My other two are working fine. I just made this one, like third one and the first one. These two are working fine, but the second one, like if you go to the second one, it's not. You see, like it's not letting me.
okay. Okay, Alamgir, the one that is not working, is
Yeah.
that the one that is hosting VCSA, or VCSA is on another one?
Uh,
The VCSA vCenter is hosted
we
on
sent it.
ESXi 1, 2, or 3.
Uh, it's on like it's on. It was on V two, sir.
It was on 2.
Yeah,
So now the problem is with the which ESXi host?
the second one, sir.
Second one. So the problem is with the second one, ESXi host. So
We
first,
so we center I can open on both of them, right? Because this one is also working fine, and third one I just attached it. Third one is also working fine, right? But the second one by accidentally, I just uh, if you see this one, like the first one, it's like sorry, the first one is working fine, and second one is not working, right? This
okay.
one.
So where is vCenter?
We center. Let me see.
And you're sure that you deleted vSwitch 0 on ESXi 2?
Yes, sir. Because I was logged in on EXI02. These are working fine. Like 2 and 3 are working fine. But EX, like
ESXi
2,
2 is not
2,
working fine.
yeah,
Okay.
2 is not
So
working.
so 2 so 2 does it have vCenter, or vCenter is on 1 or 3?
I think all of them have it.
All of them have vCenter?
Yes, sir. Like once you log in, I can, because I just made, like, records for
But
all of
Bhattivai, sorry to interrupt, but Bhattivai, Win SRB01 should have the V center. That's it. You should not have like V center on everyone.
So here, just go on to VMs.
Yes.
You're already logged into ESXi host 1.
Yes, sir. One is already logged in, but on the two, I just we made that exercise on the
No, okay,
second.
okay. 2 for now, forget about 2, because on 2. So just think of this. On
Okay.
2, you deleted vSwitch 0. Okay.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Since the main lifeline of that ESXi host is gone, you cannot bring it back. You cannot bring it back. The reason is that vSwitch 0 is the core network of ESXi 2. Okay. And without connecting, because the same vSwitch 0 had the management port, and if there is no management port, you won't be able to connect to ESXi host. And so then your next question is that how can you bring it back? Unfortunately, you cannot bring it back. So there is no way, because there is no console on the ESXi host, and you cannot connect. There is no way you can connect to that ESXi host unless you are physically there. And I'll have to check that out, that there are some command lines that can be used. Though for now, in this lab at the moment, let's not make it more complex for everyone else and for you as well. Just delete ESXi02 and recreate it.
Okay,
Sir,
sir.
can I add something?
Yes, please go ahead.
If we lost somehow V switch 0,
Yes.
can we not go to the ESXi and go to the network adapter and select the VM0 and then try?
Yes,
Uh,
sir.
There is
It's
there is an
but
option, sir.
there is an option, but switch is gone. In we can
Okay.
try it.
Okay.
The switch where the network card is connected is not there. Network card is
Mhm.
there, but the switch is not there.
Okay.
So
Okay. That
it,
yeah.
it will be a bit complicated at the moment. I mean, at the moment, since you're all learning on the basic
Hmm.
networking, if I start doing troubleshooting for advanced
Yeah.
concept, it will really confuse you at this.
Yes. Right.
Adnan bhai, I'm lost.
Okay, yes. So that's what I'm saying, that everyone will be lost if we do it. So for now, Alamgir,
yes,
recreate
sir.
ESXi 02. Just make sure your vCenter is on ESXi 1.
One, yeah, it is on one. Sorry.
So I'm actually lost for something different. Maybe sorry, I should have started talking then. But so I added the ports right to the thing, but now so some of them are showing up, but some of them are still not showing up. Like some of them are green, but they're not. Some of them are not, right? Essentially, and like the V switch, essentially. Can I share my screen really quick?
Just a second. Just before this, yes, you can share your screen. Alamgir, are you okay with what I said? Alamgir, calling
Yes,
Alamgir.
sir. Yes, sir. It's okay. I just can create another one. Yeah, I have a vCenter in Win, like EXI one.
Okay, so that's
One.
fine. As
That's
long as
fine.
vCenter is
But
there, it's fine.
I wanted to bring back that exercise, whatever we did, like project. That's okay.
Okay, okay, we can do it. We can do it at 10. Ashish, so you're
Yes,
showing
sir.
your screen. Yes, what is your confusion?
So I added oh, where is this? No, I added the virtual switches, right? I guess.
This looks excellent, and your uplinks looks good too. So there are two. That's fine. And go to the port group. Yes. So in the port groups, you haven't created any port groups other than the one that we created in the last class. Okay.
Yeah. So can I
Now,
just change the name of these?
you can, but they are still attached to V switch 0. So look at the fourth column. Fourth column is showing you which switch these port groups are connected to. No, you don't have to click
Oh,
them. Just go
sorry.
back on the same screen. If you look at the fourth column, everyone, fourth column shows that which switch V switch the port group is attached to. So from here, you can also find that out. But the problem is once the port group is attached to one V switch, you cannot remove it. You cannot remove it.
Oh,
So you cannot change it. You just have to delete it and recreate it. Okay. So in
You
this,
can
okay, makes
rename it,
sense.
sir.
sorry,
Can you rename it, right, sir?
can you repeat yourself, please?
Yes, sir. But you can rename it, right?
Yeah, you can rename it, but you cannot move it. Okay. So Ashish, in order to
Yes.
create a new port group called vMotion. So create a new
So
port group. Yes. So just here, just say call vMotion, and before saving it, before adding it, just
so I can
change
just
the V
change
switch.
the. Oh,
Exactly,
makes sense.
exactly.
Okay.
That's it.
Perfect. Thank you. Appreciate it.
So that's it. So you just
Thank you.
create a vSwitch 0, create a
Right.
port group, attach it to it, and that's it. So that's
Perfect.
how simple that is.
Perfect. Perfect. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, you're most welcome. And now going back to so are you able to see my screen? So you're able to see the whiteboard, right?
Sir, just a quick question before you start.
Yes, yes, please
So,
go ahead.
like, if we are making any, project or anything, it's better to make in the like second or third one, not in the vCenter, right? I mean, so if something happens, so you can create the like second or third EXI host, so it won't affect the EXI like vCenter. I mean,
Okay. Oh, yes. Okay. So you're saying that whenever we do a test lab, it should be done on ESXi host 2 or 3, not on the one that has vCenter. Yes, for sure, for sure. Because
so
that's risking the vCenter. Yes.
okay.
But Alamgir, in the real environment, we don't delete anything. So since we are testing, and you
Yeah.
deleted, I mean, you shot yourself on the foot by deleting V switch 0. V switch 0 was the lifeline. So in the real environment, we don't do that, right?
Oh yeah, yeah. It's a good lesson, sir.
What is the name of the server? Okay, so our physical server that from the beginning, I want you to remember is DL3. DL380. DL380s, guys, these are those servers that where ESXi is installed in the real environment. So these will be the server. I mean, in the real environment, when you go into the real environment, most of the time these servers are already installed. So ESXi host in physical will look like exactly like this. So your company will order a server. There could be this server for $7,000. This one is 1,900. This is second-hand. Most probably this is from eBay. These are second-hand servers. This is again another server, generation 9. I think currently it is 10 or 11 working on. The latest one is 10 or 11 gen. So this is gen 9. This is again a second-hand. This is why it is 4,800. So once your company receives these server, ESXi, these servers will be rack and stack into the rack, into your data center, or maybe a server room. If it is a medium-sized company, they will have a server room. If it is a large company, they will have a data center. In short, in both cases, all you need to do is to install ESXi host on this. And how do you install ESXi host on this? You will be provided, once this server is racked inside, inside the data center, racked meaning that is inside, it is installed, and you will be provided an IP address. So you will connect to that IP address and install ESXi host in this. And once ESXi host is installed, this server will look like exactly like this. So you will be logging into that DL380 from this console. So for us, VMware admin, we will be working on this console. So in the backend, it could be a Dell server, it could be IBM server, it could be any other server, but we'll be working on this server. Naveed, do you want to quickly share your screen and show me your lab, please?
Yes, Adnan bhai.
Okay, so can you walk us through what you have created, please, quickly?
Can you see the display?
Yes, we can see your screen.
Okay. So what I did here, that these are my port groups, and I was having
No,
some issues.
hold on. We cannot
Yeah.
see your VMware. We can just see a Windows, blue Windows screen.
Oh, okay. So this is the second one.
Okay. Yeah, now we can see your screen.
Okay. Okay. So these are all my port groups which I recreated yesterday, and on top of it, these are all the.
Okay. And
Yeah.
so just a quick question. Do you know that which server, which switch they are connected to?
Well, I connected them, but I have recreated all this thing because I was having some issues with my VMware. I had to uninstall and reinstall it.
Okay. Okay.
But I'm still working on it, so it's my
Okay.
incomplete.
That's fine. That's fine. But here on this screen, if you look at the fourth column, what do you see on the fourth column?
Oh, sorry. In the fourth column is basically these. Yeah, this is the problem. All these ports are
Port groups.
these are,
Port groups.
port groups are connected to the same switch, which is incorrect. But to fix them, I have to click on it, and a new switch should be created.
Okay. Okay. So go back to that screen again. Go back to that screen again.
Yeah.
Okay. Now show me virtual switches. So everyone, please keep looking at the screen because this is, this might be a confusion for everyone else as well. So go back to the previous screen. Click on the navigation bar. Click on the navigation bar so we can see everything. Okay, that's fine. Now click on networking.
Yes.
Yes. And within networking, so here we can see you have all the port groups. So that is fine. But what is wrong is they're all connected to vSwitch 0. Now, in order to move it to another switch, you need to remove them. So you cannot change them. But before removing them, I want you to look at your virtual switch. So next tab. next to the port group, there is virtual switches. You have only one virtual switch. You don't have any
Right.
other virtual switch. And there are
Correct.
four physical network card connected. The third column you can see four, which means that six of your cards are sitting there. So if you have 10 network
Mm-hmm.
cards in this ESXi, six are sitting there. Okay. So let's
Mm-hmm.
quickly
Mm-hmm.
create one V switch. So let's create one of the V switch that is called V motion or the management. Yes, just click here, add standard switch, and name it management. And so, and there will be one network card added here. So if we need right from the start two network cards, so click add. So on the same screen, click add uplink. So now there will be two network cards added. So now two network card, or you can add four network cards right here as well on the switch. But we need only two network card based on our architecture. So management switch need two network cards. Okay, and click add.
Yeah.
So this is half of the configuration is done for networking. Now let's go back to the port group. There has to be one port group on this switch. So now from here, delete the port groups, but we don't delete the one that is default to vSwitch 0. So delete the port group called management. Right click on management and delete. Yeah, this one. Delete. You can likewise you can remove later on vmotion and all of the rest of the one that you created. So let's create a port group because we are doing the configuration for management. Yes, click here and name it management and change the virtual switch. Change the virtual switch.
Yeah.
Yes, and that's it. So now
There you go.
you can see that management port group is on vSwitch 0. And this switch now, if you change to virtual switches from the top, change it to virtual switch and go to management virtual switch. Right here, now you can see the right configuration that we wanted to see. There are two network cards to this switch and one port group called management.
Correct. But remember, it's quite confusing though, because in our last class, like when we were watching on the screen, it seemed very easy. But when we started to do do by
Exactly.
ourselves, it's quite confusing. So that's why I'm requesting you that we understand, or I understand what I have to do, but steps are still skipping. So if you can just quickly in a minute or two, if you can draw that structure once again on your whiteboard and
Okay.
explain quickly, so that will be very great for us.
Okay, sure. I will.
Please, thank you.
Okay, no problem. Okay, so going back to our whiteboard, guys, last 5 minutes on this to understand. Let's look at this here. So in order to create this architecture, so I'm going to go back to my architecture. Let's look at, I mean, the key is, guys, these concepts are not very difficult. I mean, when you do it, it's just that what you are doing, you need to properly understand what you are following and what you want to create inside the ESX I host. So here, first of all, it's very clear that I need to create 5 switches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now you can create all the 5 switches at the same time. You can create all the ports at the same time. Guys, this is not how we do it. So always remember, from now on, instead of creating the whole configuration, do it one by one. So take this as one project, take this as one project, and take this as one project. The confusion starts when you create just all the port groups, or you create all the switches together all together, and then it will start getting more and more complex. So I mean, later on, for me, I can do that all in one shot. I can create all the virtual switches and all the network cards and all the port groups, and then I can attach them later on. For me, it's easy, but for you, it will be a bit difficult. If you have 20 things to connect together, that will be really difficult. But I wanted you to go through this exercise, and this is the very reason why we are discussing it now, because now this is giving you an architectural view and the way to it should be implemented. So even in the real environment, we do it step by step, because real environment is connected to the production environment, and production environment is making money for the company. So even in production environment, I will create one by one and make sure I will take time on this only one switch. and make sure this is exactly what I need to do. Once this is created, then I move on to the next one. Once this is done, maybe the first switch might take 1 hour to create. Delete it, recreate, delete, create, delete, create. But once this is perfect, then move on to the next one, and then move on to the next one. So this is what we do in production as well. We don't create everything at one. So this is the first problem that I see in all of your architectures. Okay, so in order to do this, so I'm just gonna take a picture of this, and just for our understanding, let's say I'm just focusing on one of the part of this. So I'm just gonna take this here. I just need to create this one in the real environment. So I'm gonna take it here. So this is what I'm focusing on at the moment. That this is what I need to create. So this is my ESXi host. So in the ESXi host, the very first thing that I will do, I need 2 network cards for this switch. So for this one, for this server, I will bring a network card. So let me bring a network card here.
The quick question,
Yeah, please go ahead.
like the, when you add physical adapters, there is a like built-in switch which is switch 0. So do we need to use it or we don't need to use it?
We switch 0 most of the time. We don't use, we create our own switch. So just one switch. So in the real environment, you don't have 5 switches in one server. This is just for understanding purposes. There might be 2 or 3 switches. One switch for production network and another switch for the dev test and dev network. But your question going back, do we use vSwitch 0? Yes, that is based on the architecture. If your company is using vSwitch 0, they will use it. Otherwise, they will create their own switch and then attach VMs there.
Thank you.
Okay, so guys, here, in order to do this architecture, first of all, by default, we know that, guys, by default, we know that there is one ESXi host with one network card. There is not, there are no other network cards other than that. So in order to create this configuration, I need at least 2 network cards. So for that, I will go into ESXi setting and I will add 2 more network cards. So, I mean, at the moment, we know that this network card is attached to vSwitch 0. So vSwitch 0 by default is using this one network card. But if I need to create another switch, I need 2 more network cards. So I mean, right in the beginning of that exercise, you can add 10 network cards all together and then use them. But since we are going step by step, so in order to create this, first of all, I add 2 physical network cards, then restart the CSXi host. So this is one thing is done. I have 2 network cards. Secondly, I need to create a virtual switch inside ESXi host. So for that, I will go into the virtual switch. So on the ESXi host, we will go to the networking and create a vSwitch 0 that is known as management, because the vSwitch name is management. So we will name it as, let's say, management. So this is second task that is completed. So we added the network cards and restarted the ESXi host. Second, we created a vSwitch 0. And third, now we will attach these 2 network cards that we added by default. As soon as you create a switch, there is an option to add uplinks, just like we just did in just this lab that we did. So you attach this, and then now, so you have the switch ready, you have the network cards ready. The last thing is add this port group. So this is a port group. So the last thing, which is, so this is third, and the fourth one is create a port group. The port group will be this, and attach the port group. So once you create a port group, in the same option, there is that you need to attach it here. So this will create a port group inside. So that port group name will be management. Okay. So guys, I know that this is all new to us, and so just go slow on this. Maybe in this week, before the next lecture, try to do this again. Just look at this diagram and do it one by one. I think most of you understand what we are doing here. Uh, most of you understand what we are doing here in this. So the main idea is to understand the concepts that how these are all connected. Ashish, yes, you may ask a question.
Sorry, that was from the last time actually.
Okay, okay, good. So guys here, so this is now basic networking. This is now basic networking. Now, one more thing that we need to understand today is that in the management port group, there are 4 ports that we need to understand. There are 4 ports. There are four purpose of a management port group. So I'm gonna go here onto this second whiteboard. So guys, keep on remembering that the physical server, our favorite physical server is DL380. This is how DL380 looks like. DL380 is a server, is one of the server that is used in most of the networks. So for that reason, I'm just keep on saying DL380. And DL380 is the server on which we install ESXi host. It's the same server where we install Hyper-V as well. So for that reason, we just need to remember DL380 as a server. So here, guys, a management port group. Management port group has we can create 4 types of management ports inside. Now, when we were working with the port group, so when we were working, oops, okay, that was power of attorney. Okay, sorry, that was not part of the lecture. Okay. Okay, so what we are doing here, guys, so what we are doing here, yes. So I need to delete this. How is everyone doing now, guys? How is everyone doing, guys? Uh, please type yes in the chat window or whatever your feelings are, angry, tired, great, whatever is it.
Sir, I'm okay.
Okay, good. Good, good, good. Thank you. Okay, thank you. Abdullah, next time we will feel happy when when everyone is able to complete the exercise. Guys, it is a complex technology, and just like we learned last time, complex is what they pay for. Okay, and it's not difficult. I mean, once we do step by step, it will be easy. Okay, so now, guys, we talked about 2 types of port group before we can. I mean, there will be advanced network concepts later on in this training. There is a full chapter on this, but as part of the basic understanding, when we work with port groups, there are 2 types of port groups that we have seen. There is one called VM network port group. VM network port group. Anyone remembers what is the main purpose of VM network port group? If you know, please type it in the chat window. VM network port group
Is used to connect VMs only.
exactly. VM network port group is the port group that only connects to the that only connects to what that only connects to VMs. Yes. So the main purpose of VM network port group is to connect to VMs. So right here, I have a ESXi host. In this ESXi host, I have a vSwitch inside, and that vSwitch has by default vSwitch 0 has 2 port groups inside. So one port group is basically for VM network port group, which is right here. And in this, you can have many ports inside. So thousands of ports inside. Whereas we have a management port group, which is a second port group, which is this one. And that has only one port. And that port is known as management port. With that port, we are connected to, so that is called a management port group. That is called a management port. And what is the name of this port, guys? Name of this port is VM kernel port. VM kernel port. VM kernel port basically serves 4 purposes. So there are 4 purposes for VM kernel port, and these 4 purposes are number one. So there are 4 purposes for VM network. VM network port group, we know that as soon as you create VM number one, it will get a port from VM network. So that's one. You create a second VM, it will create, so second VM will get a port from VM network. VMs will never get a port from the management network. Management port is the main function of the management port is to provide management for ESXi host. So this is where we are connected to. So now there are three other purposes of this VM management port. So there are, so management port, management port has four purpose in general. So one is that so here I'm just using the whiteboard, everyone. Later on I'll add that to the Word document as well, so don't worry about that. But here focus on what the four purposes. One purpose that we already know, the management purpose is management network, management traffic. So the way we connect to ESXi hosts, this is called all management, and that is done through VM kernel port. So the name of the port is VM kernel port. VM kernel port has four functions. One function is management traffic. So all the management traffic will happen from this. Second one is storage traffic. So for storage traffic, we will use management port. For storage traffic, we will never use the VM port. So whenever we use a storage, so for now, just remember storage traffic or the iSCSI traffic. iSCSI traffic. Guys, why am I saying traffic to this? Because the main purpose of the port is for communication. So it's a communication between this VM and the switch. So this is what port does. So that is what port. So first purpose of this port is management traffic. The way we are connected to ESXi host is the management port. Second purpose of the same management port is storage traffic, and third purpose is vMotion traffic. So later on, when we work with vMotion, vMotion is a technology in which a live VM can move from this ESXi host to another ESXi host. So currently at this point we are not going into that discussion. What actually, there is a full chapter on vMotion, so don't worry about that vMotion. But at the moment, I do want you to remember that vMotion is a concept in which this VM that is working on this, you can move it live VM from here to here without users disconnected. So their users will never be disconnected. Guys, this is why it is known as vMotion, virtual motion. So at this point, I just want you to remember, you think it's an excellent feature? Yes, guys, it is an excellent feature. I mean, how beautiful is that you move your running laptop from one place to another. I mean, most of the time you will have to close the laptop, you put it in the back, and then go to the college or your work, and in the work you will have to restart the laptop. But guys, laptop, since I'm the only user connected, if you even shut down the laptop, that's fine. But guys, this server is a live server. This server is basically all your users are connected to this server. Maybe to this VM there are 10,000 users connected. So if you have to move it from this server to this server, if you have to disconnect it even for 1 minute, that will be a loss of huge revenue. So this vMotion technology is a technology where you move this live VM from this ESXi host to this ESXi host without 10,000 users disconnected. So that's the magic of vMotion. So vMotion traffic is all handled with management port. So there is a full chapter on vMotion, but here I just want you to have this general understanding. Next time when I ask you what is vMotion, so you just say, I mean, you can relate to you can relate it to the other motions that we know in the real environment. And I don't know what other motions, I mean, I know of many other motions, but yes, you can relate it to that motion. And motion, guys, vMotion, so we are focusing on vMotion at the moment. It's a technology in which a live VM moves from one ESXi host to another ESXi host. That's that technology. And that traffic is handled by management port. vMotion is not a technology that is handled by VM network port. So the fourth one and the last one that I want you to remember is FT traffic. FT traffic. FT traffic is a fault tolerance traffic. So this traffic is also, so vMotion traffic and FT traffic. these and what is FT? FT is a fault tolerant traffic. There is a full chapter on this. Don't worry about that. We will go through that later on. But today I want you to remember that management port can handle four type of traffics. One is management traffic. Second one is storage iSCSI traffic. Third one is vMotion traffic, and fourth one is FT traffic. So these four type of network traffics can be handled from management port. These four type of network traffic cannot be handled from VM network port group. So Naveed is asking a question, please, one liner for FT. FT stands for fault tolerant traffic. FT stands for fault tolerant, but here I cannot give you more explanation on this because we can, it's a fault tolerant traffic. Basically, it's a traffic in which this VM, if let's say, okay, so just a very quick high level understanding is FT is called a fault tolerant traffic. So let's say this VM is the most important VM. This VM is the most important VM of your network, and this VM is 100,000 users connected to this. Let's say it's a eBay website and it's the holiday season. Everyone is buying stuff, and this is the most important VM. Now you cannot even wait for. You cannot just rely on vMotion for this. I mean, vMotion is it can move from one place to another. Maybe it has a cluster or a high availability. Guys, FT is a technology in which we create a clone of this VM. So we will create a clone of this VM right here on another ESXi host. And this is an exact clone of this VM. So this is called fault tolerant VM. So the main idea is that if this VM goes down for any reason, hardware reason on an ESXi host, networking issue, storage issue, any issue, if this goes down, users won't be disconnected. User will be automatically connected to this one. So exactly like failover cluster. So FT is exactly like failover cluster option. So, but in order to do FT, you need a lot of resources, and there is a full chapter on this. So don't worry about that at the moment. But guys, so this management port group can handle four type of traffic. Now, how do you remember it? How do you remember it in the real life? Guys, think of ESXi host as a city. Think of ESXi host as a city. So let's say there is a city, huge big city called ESXi host. Okay. And in ESXi host, so ESXi host has two big highways. ESXi host has two big highways. So one highway is just for VM traffic, and the other highway is just for the management traffic. So the other highway is just for the management traffic. So this other highway is going into ESXi host and going out of ESXi host. This is management traffic. So this highway VM network is that port group that is only for VMs. So this one will be VM. So all of the VMs are connected here. So all of the VMs are connected to VM network port group. And all of the management traffic is connected to the management port group. So this is the management port group, and which is called VM kernel. So this highway name is VM kernel highway, or the management port highway. And in this highway, four type of traffics can pass through. One is the management traffic. So this is the first one. I'm going to call this M. And the second one is basically your FT traffic, which is fault tolerant traffic. And the third one is the storage traffic. So the third one is storage traffic, and the fourth one is FT traffic. So fourth one will be FT traffic in this. So four traffic. So guys, at the moment, I just want you to remember that management port can handle how many types of traffic, guys? Four type of traffic. Guys, type in the chat window, four. So so management port group can handle how many types of traffic? Four type of traffic. And what are the four type of traffic? Number one, management traffic. Number two, storage iSCSI traffic. Number three, vMotion traffic. Number four is FT traffic. Guys, take only 1 minute, maybe half of the minute, and type all the four in the chat window. Type all the four things: management, storage, vMotion, FT. Management, guys, type that. I know smarter people would let other type and then copy paste everyone else. So if you want to do that, guys, that won't be honest. You need to type it. So type all the four types of traffic. Salim, that was a good joke. You said four type. Oh, yes, 4 types. I want you to type the name of the traffic. Just quickly take 20 seconds and type management, number 2 storage, number 3 vMotion, FT. In all the VMware interviews, guys, in all the VMware interview, this is an interview question. They will ask you management port, what type of traffic can be handled with management port? And your answer is management traffic, storage traffic, vMotion traffic, and FT. Okay, Alamgir, you may ask a question.
Oh, yes, sir. I was typing in the meantime. So you said in the FT fault tolerance, it's a kind of clone. So is it clone of the full ESI or like
Just the
server,
VM.
or just some important things like maybe
No, no,
uh,
no, 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 just the VM. Not the complete. It's not a clone of the ESXi host. It's the clone of the VM. You know, there are VMs inside,
yeah,
so
yeah, yeah.
so it's a complete clone of that VM. Complete
Okay,
clone.
complete. Okay, thank you, sir.
Yes. Okay. So excellent, guys. Thank you for writing in the chat window. Very good. And so this is very, very important. Yes, go ahead, please.
So, the portal just keeps on logging out. Would that affect the functionality of the machine anytime, or like, do we always have to have it on?
No, it's fine. The portal is just timing out. So that's for security purposes. It doesn't affect anything in the ESXi host. So all VMs are working fine. Everything is working fine. It's just that if you're not attending the ESXi host and it should automatically log you off for security reasons.
Oh, okay, makes sense. So we don't really have to have it on all the time, right?
No, no,
It
no,
just
no.
okay.
Actually, the rule is, I mean, and all the company policies are that if you're not in front of your computer, everything should be logged out. Especially vCenter, especially all these things, you cannot just leave them out of your site.
Okay, makes sense.
And in
Perfect.
many companies, there is a very, very strict rule that if you leave your Outlook, I mean your desktop on and you're not in front of your screen, there will be a warning given to you. So many companies have this as well, that you cannot leave your manager would just if your manager sees that your computer is on and you're not there, especially being a system admin and a cloud admin, they can call an explanation. They might give you a warning a few times
So your
that you
coworkers
cannot.
will clown you, right?
Yeah, for sure. I mean,
We
something
used to
happened. Yes, go
basically
ahead.
put the screen upside down whenever anybody's screen used to be like open. Basically, we used to just always make it upside down. So when they come back, they're like, "Oh my god!" Like most of them really don't know much, right? So
Exactly,
it's pretty
exactly,
fun.
exactly. That's true. Alamgir, you have a question?
Sorry, sir. Yeah, can you recap management traffic, please, if you don't mind?
Yes, quickly. It's right here, and I'm gonna just. Okay, I have to create a new document, and okay, that's fine. I'll just create a new document right here. Um, Yes, management traffic. I mean, how do you remember management traffic? The management traffic, you just need to remember in this manner that all the switches can have two different type of port groups. So one port group, so here, just let me write it. So all the switches can have two different type of port group. Port groups, and one is called VM network, and the other one is called management port group. So management port group. And management, so VM network port group is easy, that it can handle can only handle VM traffic, whereas management port group can handle 4 type of traffics. And those four types of traffic: number one, management traffic; number two, storage iSCSI traffic; number three, vMotion traffic; and number four is FT traffic. Now that means that whenever we need to configure storage traffic, whenever we need to create a management port. Whenever we need to configure vMotion traffic, we need to create a management port. Whenever we need to create a FT traffic, we need to create a FT port. So that's what it is. Okay, everyone. Alamgir, you have a question?
Uh,
Sorry, sir. I just, I think by
Okay.
mistake.
Okay.
Sir,
No.
my question is, for each of the four functionalities you have just discussed earlier, we have to create ports within the management port. That means port within a port.
No, in the management group, we need to create another port. Okay,
Okay,
so
okay.
let me quickly show you that. So I show it to you. So I am going to log into ESXi host, and I am going to go to the management port. So here, when I go into the management port, so this is my port group. So remember that I need to create, I can create four type of traffic in the management network. So in the management network, this is my management network. So on vSwitch 0, so this is my management network on vSwitch 0. If I go into this management network here, currently it has only one port active. Currently it has only one port active, which is which it shows right here. Guys, don't worry. I know that this is a new technology for everyone, and this portal can be overwhelming at some time. I mean, when you're looking at it, when you're working on it. So bit by bit, you will be able to understand and work with this. So I am in the management network, and it has only one port. And if I click on this management network port group, and remember this is a port group. So what did we said in the document? That all switches have two different type of port groups. One port group is known as VM network port group. The second one is management network port group. So I am right here within management network port group. So this is a port group, and I'm under port groups, and this is management network port group. And if I click on edit settings, this one port is only assigned network traffic at the moment. So here I can see that that here this is a network port group in this, and in here I have, if I can go into security, actually these are the simple things that we just discussed. But here, where can I see that? I can see that, I can see that within the virtual switch actually. So within the virtual switch, I can go into vSwitch 0. vSwitch 0 will show me that what is in the management port. So if I go right here, here is the management port, and the current and port name is VM kernel port group. So this is a VM kernel port group. And if I click on edit here, for this port group, probably this will give me exactly the same thing. There is this port group here. And if I click on the switch here, so this is management traffic. This is VM kernel port. And if I go down here, here it shows me this is fault tolerant, logging is disabled, management is enabled. So remember four types of traffic. One is vMotion. This is vMotion is enabled, and you can have vSAN as iSCSI traffic. So these are two. These both are storage traffic. This is for vMotion. This is replication also for vMotion. Just like I said, we haven't covered vMotion and storage at the moment. So later on, there is a chapter where we will discuss more. But these are the services that that management port can handle. At the moment, this management port can only handle one traffic that is enabled, which is known as management traffic. Let's say on the same port, I need to enable vMotion. So for that, I need to enable this port here. And for that, I need to go to edit settings. And within edit settings of VM kernel, one more time, how did I went there? So maybe some of you might be thinking that how did I went there? All you need to do, go into vSwitch 0, go into vSwitch 0, and let's say I need to add another type of traffic in the management port. So I am just going here on the management network. So on vSwitch 0 on the management network, just click on this VM kernel port. So when you click on the VM kernel port here, it will take you to the setting of this port. And remember that on this port, there can be 4 types of traffic. At the moment, it is only handling management traffic. vMotion traffic is not enabled on this. In order to enable that traffic, and first of all, on this port here, you can see everything is disabled other than management port traffic. Not even FT is enabled. This is called FT. So the one that I was saying, that FT is fault tolerance logging. So that is here, and this is vMotion, this is vSAN. These are storage related, these are vMotion. So basically 4 type of traffic. So let's say if I need to enable vMotion on this, if I need to enable vMotion on this, all I need to do is go to edit settings. And within edit settings, once I'm there, I can just enable vMotion traffic on this. So here you can see in services, it's saying, okay, so what do you want to have enabled? You can enable management. Management is already enabled. Rest of them is not enabled. So the next thing that I wanted to enable is vMotion. If you also wanted to enable FT on this, that can be added. If you also wanted to do the storage stuff, replication, NFC replication, all, you can enable that. But at the moment, we are just enabling vMotion and management on the management port traffic. So I'm going to save that. So now here in this recent task, you can see that it is happening now. It is enabling vMotion. And when I come back here and refresh the screen, so as soon as I refresh the screen, vMotion is enabled as well. So we need to remember that 4 types of major traffics that can be handled through management port. And one more time, I am going to go there, and you go with me as well if you're already here, so that you know next time if I say just go enable vMotion traffic on a management port. So you need to go to vSwitch 0 or whatever switch, because you can have management port group on the other switches as well, but at the moment we're just looking at vSwitch 0. So go to vSwitch 0, and on vSwitch 0 just click on VM kernel port, and the interview question is, what is VM kernel port? Guys, always remember kernel. This is not the kernel in army, this is the kernel in this CSXI host, but it exactly acts like an army kernel. Why? Because without this port, you're disconnected from this. You cannot manage the ESX. This ESXi host is all management. You're managing this ESXi host from this Windows server from this port. So if this port is not available, then it means that you have no connection to ESXi host. This is exactly what happened with ESXi 2 number 2 when with Alamgir server. If vSwitch 0 is dead, if this vSwitch is dead, it means that the management is dead as well. So there might be some way to bring that back. But guys, before, remember, if this happens in the real environment, and you tell your manager or your management that vSwitch 0 is dead, then they won't give you a chance to fix it. Somebody else will fix it. And you can guess why you won't be given that chance to fix it. I mean, the best guess would get the first prize. Why won't you get a chance to fix this? Anyone?
Because they want you to go home and just enjoy.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. You'll be fired. You won't have the chance to fix it because so this is, I mean, so I mean, in the training environment it's fine, guys. Always remember, in the real environment, we never delete anything. The most we do is disable something. So in Active Directory, we never delete a user. In normal servers, we never delete a file or folder. On a server in the real environment, we never delete everything. So this is a thumb rule that we need to remember. We always disable something or maybe change permission or something. And that is only when we have a written permission in the email. So if you receive an email, always, if your manager is verbally asking you, guys, I had that one manager, Chinese manager, long time back, and he tried to frame me of something, and he asked me to do something, and in the meeting literally he said that he never said that. I mean, and I never had that proof. So after that, I learned that everything needs to be black and white whatsoever. Whatever they said, you can humbly ask them, just send me a one liner and I'll do it. So you need to have that proof. So guys, there is no verbal communication in real environment. If somebody is doing, and first of all, delete, you need to have 10 emails. Ask him 10 times, maybe go to the next level, and maybe discuss it to other colleagues. Never delete anything in the real environment. Okay. So what is the time now, everyone? Yes, I was just looking at it. And break. Let's take a quick break here, and right after the break, we will start a new topic. So guys, freshen up break. It's a 5 minutes break, not a 10 minutes break. Let's take just 5 minutes break. Freshen up break. Hello, welcome back after the break, everyone. Okay, so so with this, guys, we now start understanding networking, ESXi host, and here is our vCenter, guys. For the next week, please remember that vCenter needs to be ready. We'll be working on vCenter, and vCenter is right here on my other server. Now, I'll share with you my experience with vCenter, guys, and with vCenter, I had so much time spent, and I said that in my message in on the WhatsApp group as well. And the problem that I was having, that somehow I was not able to install vCenter from a domain controller. This is my domain controller, and in the real environment, basically we don't use domain controller for anything. Domain controller is for authentication, and we don't install anything on a domain controller. So what I did at the end, after 6 times installation of vCenter, you can think of, I mean, if you worked with this vCenter VCSA, you might have seen the frustration and waiting for vCenter to be first stage and the second stage and going on. So I did that at least 5 or 6 times. I waited for hours and hours and created a video. And you can see the frustration in my two last videos as well. I mean, the vCenter was not going through domain controller, and I'm not saying that it's not possible. Maybe some of you might have already installed a domain controller vCenter through a domain controller, and sometime it happens, sometime it doesn't. But in my case, it only happened from this server, from this fourth server that I installed as a member server. And then from this member server, when I installed the vCenter, it just went fine, and now I have a vCenter ready. So for the next lecture, please remember to have the vCenter ready in your environment.
So, will it make it any difference because we have installed vCenter on domain controller? We were following
No,
your
no.
videos.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. So if it is installed on a domain controller, I'm just saying that vCenter should be ready. So if it is ready from that, it's fine.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so guys, today now we need to start understanding the storage of. So we did have a basic understanding of networking within ESXi host. So within ESXi host, we know that from the ESXi host we can do the networking here. And now today we need to understand the storage of ESXi host. So storage of ESXi host, we also have a basic understanding about the storage. Now in storage, we all know that storage starts from a disk, just like networking starts from a network card. So you have a network card, then you connect that network card to a switch, then switch has a port group, and with the port group VMs are connected. So this is how everything that in networking is connected. Same way in the storage starts from a disk. So first of all, how many disks do you have on your ESXi host? So by default, there is only one disk available in ESXi host. Then we keep on adding more and more disk in ESXi host. So two concepts that we already know, that in ESXi host disk, first we add a disk, then we create a data store. So when we create a data store, then it becomes usable disk, or then in other words, it's exactly the same thing, just like in this server. Remember that on server 2016, when you add a new disk, you can go to file and storage, and within file and storage, when you add a new disk, it appears in the disk section. So whatever appears in the disk section, that is known as a raw disk. And when you create a volume, then it becomes usable, but then it is available in the volume section. So volume means that it is available. So same concept works in ESXi host. In ESXi host, raw disk is known as just a normal device. So when you add a raw disk, it will appear in this devices, and when it is formatted, then it will appear in data store. So in data store, I have data store 1, data store 2, which is so first one is capacity 32 GB, the second one is 99 GB. So in the devices, I can see that there is two more disks available. One disk is 100 GB, the other disk is 40 GB. So which means that I have two raw disks here that are not in use at the moment. So that if the disk is shown in the data store, it means that the disk is not in use. So this is the basic understanding that we already know. Let's understand some more concepts of data storage. So understanding data storage concepts is right here. So in ESXi host, what happens is in ESXi host, when the disk is formatted, it is known as a data store. So it is known as a data store right here. So data store 1 and data store 2, and from this data store your VMs will be connected to. So this is a basic understanding, and later on we will be creating, we will be adding external storage. Guys, please type yes in the chat window. Please type yes in the chat window. Abdullah, I saw your request and I'm seeing your request. Sorry, I was not able to respond to that request. I will add you to the WhatsApp group. Yes. So I will add you to the WhatsApp group at the end of this lecture. So right here, we have everyone, we have storage. So storage starts from a disk, just like networking starts from a network card. One more time. I mean, if we can remember that in this manner, it will be much better. So here I have, so networking, in networking starts from a network card. So a network card, and network card connected to a physical server. This is our DL380. DL380, and then on DL380 we have a switch inside. That switch has a management port inside. That management port is basically connected to the physical network card. So physical network card connected to management port, and all the VMs that are inside. So these are VMs are inside that are connected to the VM port. So this is, I mean, this is our basic understanding. I'll keep on repeating that till the end of this training, the basics. So this is basic, and also our storage starts from a disk. So all the storage starts from a raw disk. So we add a raw disk to a server. So this is a raw disk. This is, let's say, 40 GB disk I just added to a server. It goes into the storage part of ESXi host, and this is my ESXi host. And on the ESXi host, it goes into the devices. You can find this raw disk. So the new disk that we add is known as a raw disk. Raw disk meaning that the disk has nothing. You'll still have to format this disk, and this appears under the storage. So you go into the storage, and in the storage in devices, you can find this raw disk. And then when you format this disk, then this becomes a data store. So data store is that concept. So raw disk, devices, and data store. Secondly, guys, on the storage level, and we had discussed that on the in MCSA training as well, that there are these different storage types available. So first of all, now we are going into a little bit more advanced level in storage. So in general, storage are of two types. Number one, block level storage, and second one, file level storage. Block level storage and a file level storage. Always, first of all, remember that block level storage is always fast. So this is fast and this is slow as compared to block level storage. So this is file level storage is slow, block level storage is fast. And since it is fast, it is expensive. So since it is fast, it will always be expensive. So block level storage will always be expensive, and this is cheaper since it is slower. Now, so block level storage, there are two types of storage. There is something called DAS and there is something called NAS. DAS and NAS. DAS is, if you can remember from the servers training, DAS is direct attached storage. And this is SAN is storage area network. This is storage area network. This is DAS is direct attached storage. And direct attached storage is direct attached storage. So always remember that this is a local storage that is connected to, the server itself. So this is direct attached storage, and SAN is storage area network, it is a storage that is connected, through the network. So this is the network storage. So I'm going to just say this is network storage, and this is direct local storage. So this is local storage, local in server. So local in server. So this is local in server. In our laptops, we have DAS. Can we have SAN on a laptop? Yes, SAN can be connected to a network, but DAS is always, remember, direct attached storage. Direct attached storage, in other words, it's a server. Inside a server, when you add a new disk, inside a server, so by default, server has a disk called C drive. Remember, when you install Server 2016, it creates a C drive. When you install ESXi host, it has a local disk. And when you add more disks, so just like in our case, we added number of different disks here. So we have added these disks together. So we have ESXi host added. So we have this disk added here. In this disk, we have, this is internal disk. So always remember, whenever we talk about DAS is always direct attached storage, and direct attached storage are of these type. There is SCSI storage, there is SATA drive, there is SAS drive, and there is SSD drives as well. So there is SSD drive as well. These are all known as internal attached storage, whereas second type of storage is SAN, which is storage area network. And storage area network is fiber connected fiber channel. This is known as fiber channel SAN storage, fiber channel on Ethernet, or iSCSI storage. So in SAN, there are three different type of storage available as well. For a file level storage, there are two different type of storage. There is SMB and
Sorry,
NFS.
Adnan bhai, what was the second one? FCOE. Which one was that?
So FC is fiber channel. So this is fiber channel. So this is fiber channel, and this is also fiber channel, but this is over Ethernet. Fiber channel
Okay, so
over
like
Ethernet.
hardwired connection,
Yes,
hardwired, and this could be over like Wi-Fi or whatever. Well, I mean, this could be anywhere in the network, essentially, like even from home or whatever, right?
yes, exactly. This is
Okay.
inside the network. This is inside the network. And I
Okay.
will go into more detail, but here just
Okay.
remember that this is a block level storage. Block level storage is always faster than file level storage. And this is file level storage is basically SMB storage, which is Microsoft based file share. So this is Microsoft sharing. This is Microsoft sharing, and this one is Linux sharing. This is Linux file share. So this is NAS is network attached storage. So this is and NAS is network attached storage. This is DAS, and these are different type of storage, and I'm going to go into that. So let me just quickly go through the slides here, and then we can create notes in the Word document, and at the same time we will try to see how we can configure these storage in the lab. Okay, so first of all, let's go through the slides here. So types of storage protocols: number one, block level storage and file level storage. This is just file sharing. This is just file sharing technology. It is always slower than the block level storage. Block level storage has two types: DAS, which is the direct attached storage; SAN, it is storage area network; and NAS, it is network attached storage. So block level in general, you can just remember the block level and file level. Block level is faster and file level is slower.
Sir, quick question.
Please go ahead.
I noticed in some of the jobs, they require DAS, SAN, and NAS experts. Is this what we are doing right now? Or
Yes.
to be
So
expert of these three, we have to have a different certification or further depth knowledge?
exactly, yes. So when in the job requirement they say specifically that they need somebody specialist on block level and file level storage and SAN level storage. Those are separate certification. Those are separate certification. That is not a cloud admin or a system admin. So those are separate certification. What we do here, we as a VMware admin, as a cloud admin, I need to have a good understanding of this, but I will never configure all this. There are separate people who are responsible for this.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. You're most welcome. So here, block level and file level storage. Guys, FC is connected in this manner. So when we talk about fiber channel storage is connected in this manner. So here, first of all, what are we trying to understand? Fiber channel storage. Fiber channel storage has its own network, and fiber channel storage have its own fiber channel switch, and it has its own that is connected with ESXi host, and this is the storage where the disks are connected from. So it has a storage. SP stands for storage processor. It has FC switch, which is fiber channel switch, and then that is connected to HPA host bus adapter, and that is connected to ESXi host. Now, with this slide, what are we trying to understand? We are trying to understand the technology of fiber channel. So first of all, here I just wanted to say that fiber channel storage. First of all, FC stands for fiber, and this is FIBRE, fiber channel storage. Fiber channel storage, guys, first of all, always remember that fiber channel storage is the most expensive storage technology. I mean, if it comes to storage, it is the most expensive storage technology. A smallest fiber channel, and this box that you see in blue, this box, it refers to fiber channel storage. So that box refers to SAN storage. That box refers to a SAN storage box. Now, in this box, basically, what is this box having? This box is having the disks inside. So this has a stack of disks inside. So this box has one, two, three, four, five disks inside. So it has five disks, and based on these five disks, we can connect these disks to ESXi host and give it to them. Now, this is exactly like, how many of you at home has USB drive? So my question to you is, how many of you have USB drive? Please type that in the chat window if you have a USB drive, if you ever had used a USB drive. And I think most of you will reply yes, we have all used a USB drive. And what is common in a USB drive, everyone? USB drive is might be a stick USB, or it might be a 3.5 or 2.5 inch drive, so a black color drive that you can buy it from anywhere. It is a Western Digital drive that you can 2 terabyte drive, and sometime it is 1 terabyte drive or 500 GB drive as well. These drives are available everywhere in Canada computers or any computer store. So these are USB drives. But what is in these drives, guys? Main thing that in these drives that we pay for is the disk. So basically, it's the disk capacity that we are paying for. So this disk that you bought is 1 TB inside, and basically you're paying for the disk. So outer cover can be anything. Outer cover can be either a 2.5 disk drive, or it can be a small stick USB. So this stick USB can be 10 GB in size, 32 GB in size. Nowadays there are 64 GB disks are available. So basically, what you're paying for is the disk inside. So guys, this is exactly the case. Fiber channel storage or iSCSI storage, in all of them, outer box and their technology is different, but they are all selling the discs. They are all selling the disc. So if I'm saying the company is using FC, guys, I need your attention. I need your attention, please. When I say that, when I need your attention, I need your attention, which means that please clear out all the distractions around us, kids, TV, BV, sorry, wife, all types of distraction, everyone. This is for me as well. I keep on removing my distractions as well. So when I am in this training, I ask my kids to please stay away from this room and stuff like that. I know, if so, I need your attention, everyone, because this is an important concept. You can remember it right from the class, right from here in the class, and you will be able to say the word that I'm saying in the interviews. So please try to remember, because we are trying to make it very, very simple. Okay. Homan, are we online? Homan is online or not online? Okay. Human is connected but not responding right from the beginning and here. And everyone is responding. Okay, that's fine. I will speak to Human later on. Guys, if I mean, very important. So attentive. I said yes. I can see a lot of yes here. Everyone is attentive. This is very important. So guys, so today what we are trying to understand storage, and right starting from the storage, the very first storage technology that today I need to understand is FC. Now I've started understanding with USB. What is USB? It's just a stick. It's just a USB stick, but inside it has a storage. The other 2.5 Western digital disk, and I'm sure most of us has this the Western Digital, and we have a disk here. So mostly it is disk. Thank you, Alamgir, for so he might be at work. So here, guys, and then here we have disk USB one. We have disk number one, and so today I'm understanding FC. So in FC, the resemblance or the relationship between USB and the SAN storage, you can remember that from outer side, the technology that makes it faster is called is this box. So this box so this box is equal to the box of this USB stick drive. So USB stick drive has a smaller stick type of structure. This is a big SAN box in the real environment. So in the box, what they are selling are number of disks inside. So SAN is a technology. Number one, this box that complete SAN, it is sold as a complete infrastructure. So when you buy a SAN, which is basically known as FC, and SAN is of two types, guys. SAN is of two types. So here I'm going to say SAN is of two types. One is called iSCSI SAN, and the other one is called FCSAN. So for now, what we are trying to understand FCSAN, and I want to have this FCSAN on your fingertips right after this. So for now, we are understanding FCSAN. We are not working on iSCSI SAN. So I want you to remember that FCSAN, which is this one, and which is this box here, FCSAN is the most expensive storage at the moment. So this is the First of all, this is the most expensive storage. Now, why is it most expensive? Expensive storage, guys, because FCSAN will give you a guaranteed speed. Whatever they are saying, it will be a guaranteed speed. So, for example, a USB drive, there is no speed actually. This USB drive is a very slow drive as compared to any fast disk. But FCSAN, they say that they will, if they are saying that they are that this complete box will provide you 2 GB speed. Now, what is the meaning of 2 GB? 2 GB means that since this ESXi host needs the disk from this box. So this ESXi host is getting so forget about all this at the moment. Why we bought this SAN? Because we need a fast disk connected to ESXi host. So I mean, your question might be, why are we even using this? Why can't we just add this to ESXi host here? Guys, the reason is that in order to provide high availability, your storage should be sitting outside the ESXi host in order to provide high availability. Now, remember this point, that why do we need to provide this external storage? Because let's say if this ESXi host goes down, if it goes down, it is crashed for any reason, the disk will go down as well. So for that reason, we have to have all the storage, all the VM sitting in this external storage, so that another ESXi host can connect to this external storage and can provide high availability. So for high availability, first top requirement is that your VMs are sitting outside ESXi host, and one of the option is FCSAN. And if your company can afford it, they will buy FCSAN for this. And all the medium to large size companies, they all have SAN storage. So SAN storage, first of all, it is a box in here, and it is the most expensive storage, and they provide 2 GB speed, meaning that when you access this storage from this ESXi host, it will be 2 GB speed. Guys, 2 GB speed is a huge speed, and they provide speeds of this type. So that's SAN storage can provide you 2 GB speed. It can provide you 4 GB speed. It can provide you 8 GB speed. It can also provide you 10 GB speed. So I mean, the 10 GB speed, obviously, the more speed you have, the more expensive it will be. So I would say that the eBay.com website. or Amazon.com website or Microsoft.com website, all these sites where people are buying and selling, and all these banking website, they all must be using 10 GB SAN, 10 GB SAN, because they don't care about the money. They are making all the money from from their product and services, and their customers are very, very important. So all of your customers are sitting right here. So this customer is basically connected to one of the VMs here, and this VM is stored in this storage. So and since it is a banking server, let's say it's a TD Bank server or Bank of America server, and so there are how many users might be. So maybe with this VM there might be 10,000 people connected. There might be 10,000 people connected to this VM, and this VM is sitting on this storage. So this speed has to be very, very fast. So I'm sure all these banks are using 10 GB SAN, which is very, very expensive. So guys, one more time, let's understand. And I'll take your question in a moment. Keep writing your question. Just park the questions in the chat window. I'll take your question. Let's understand the concept. Here, just give me 10-15 minutes here. So everyone, number one, it is a SAN storage. This blue box represents the SAN storage, and it is the most expensive storage, number one. Number two, it is the most speedy storage as well. It is the fast storage as well. So number one, it is expensive because it is fast. And how does it provide the fast speed? It provides the fast speed because it has its own infrastructure. It does not rely on the normal network. It does not rely on the normal network. I mean, it is exactly like, let's say you're going from your home to the airport. Let's say you're going from your home to the airport, and if you're going from your home to the airport, there are two ways to go. Number one, you can take a public route. You can get onto a highway or a freeway or maybe a motorway or maybe a tall road. So you can go this way where all the public is traveling. So this is public is traveling, guys. In Middle East I've seen, and maybe probably might be in the West, I've not seen that in Canada or Australia, but in Middle East there is a special road all the way from the palace right to the airport. So that special road has its own infrastructure. It has its own highway that is only for the royal family, and they travel from their palace directly to the airport. Probably that palace is that the most near to the airport. Probably from that palace, at least from the not from maybe the palace in other cities, but there is a special road for this. And why did they made this type of arrangement? Because so that they can get there in a fast manner. But the important thing that here the point I wanted to make, that they have their own infrastructure. So when this road has its own infrastructure, its own bridges, its own way of, there are no signals on this, then they can guarantee a fast, speedy traffic. This is what they do in the SAN storage. In SAN storage, they do not rely on physical switches. They do not rely on physical networking or RJ45 cable. They provide their own network. They provide completely their own network. So when you buy a SAN switch, when you buy a SAN storage, they will provide you HBAs. HBA is the network card that connects to ESXi host. So meaning when you work with SAN, the normal network card won't work for you. You'll have to get HBA, and HBA stands for host bus adapter. Host bus adapter. And so host bus adapter, basically HBA is the card. I mean, more than my writing here, guys, you can remember it from the picture. HBA is a network adapter card that is specially designed for only SAN. This card, HBA, will only work with SAN. It cannot even work with iSCSI. It cannot work with anything. So first of all, always remember this example, that SAN guarantees this speed because they provide their own infrastructure, and this is why it is expensive too. Because if you buy a SAN, in the package, and I can tell you based on my experience, the smallest SAN will be anywhere from $10,000 and goes up. So expensive SAN can be $2 million as well. So this box can start from the minimum. It can, I mean, secondhand, yes, you can find a secondhand SAN $2,000, $4,000, but a new smallest SAN can be $10,000 in price. 10,000 dollar in price, and then it goes up and up. So guys, the why is it expensive? Because they give their own infrastructure. So when you buy a SAN, they will give you an HBA to be connected to ESXi host, number one. Then they provide their own switch, which is FC switch. So they won't rely on the physical network switch. So they have their own switch. And then on the SAN, it has its own storage processor. So this is a CPU of storage. So as you can see that they provided everything, and then it is inside, it is connected to a disk. So for one reason, your question might be that why is it so expensive? It is expensive because they are providing their complete infrastructure. This is number one. And why they are providing their infrastructure? Because they need to guarantee this speed. I mean, so this is example. You can also understand with another example that at home, Rogers is saying that we are giving you 50 MB internet speed, but at times and the peak hours, like in the evening and night, especially in the weekend, you don't get even more than 20 MB speed. And why not 20 MB? Because this 50 MB is shared among other your neighborhood to other connections as well. So they are not providing a fixed speed. So in SAN, when they are saying that they give you 2 GB, they are providing 2 GB. In on average, it is said 2 GB network can provide like 80% of the speed, but because there is some lost, there is some signal because of the signal and because of other what do you call other reasons in ESXi host, maybe CPU is busy, memory is busy, it might not be exactly 2 GB, but it is very near to 2 GB. Okay, so one more time, guys. Today we are talking about learning about storage, and the first storage technology today we are learning is known as FC storage. FC stands for fiber channel storage, number one. Number two is it is the most expensive storage. Number two. Number three is that it is the most fastest storage available. It is and it is the most reliable storage available. So fast storage, it is expensive, and it comes in four different speeds. It is going up to 100 GB. 100 GB is not available at the moment. 10 GB is available though. So 2, 4, 8, 10 GB is available. 100 GB going to 100 GB. So the main idea is that it has its own infrastructure. It does not rely on anything else. So remember, the royal family is going to their airport using their own infrastructure. They don't rely on the public network, signals, lights, police check, and this and that. And they have their own airport and everything as well. So these are the reason. Now let's take questions on this. So first question
Sir,
from
I
the
have question.
yes, please go ahead.
Sir, this FC storage looks like it does work only in the fiber environment, but is this compatible with the Cat6 or not?
No, it's not compatible with Cat6. It has its own switch, its own networking. Yes.
Okay, great. Thanks.
Are these like those small little switches that they actually go? It's like a 4-port switch. They almost look like a cat, but it's just like a small 4-port switch. Is that the switch that it is?
No, it's a full-fledged switch. It's a full-fledged like a physical switch, but it's specially designed for just storage switch.
So
So how
companies
do they
like just gaming companies like who have games and like actual storage online, like Amazon obviously is going to be using like SAN, right?
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, for sure. All these companies are using these SAN switches.
Okay.
so HB adapters, how do they connect with the ESXi server, sir? Because ESXi, I think, is a VMware installed on a server.
Yes.
So how do they connect with the server?
So yes. So HBA are just like network adapters. You can just buy when you get this complete package. You will connect that package, that network card, just like any other network card to the ESXi. Yeah, I mean it's a DL380 server. You open the server, attach the HBA, and connect it to SAN. So that's what it is. Yes, it can be attached to ESXi host.
Sir, what is the disadvantage of this FC storage?
FC storage, the only disadvantage is that it is expensive. Smaller companies cannot afford it. And plus, secondly, only specialized people can configure it. So it's not configured. I mean, I have never configured FC storage. Yes, I did some troubleshooting. on that, but this is not my responsibility. If I would have been interested in this technology, I would have get certified in that and then went into that. But that's just one side of technology. So advantages: number one, it is expensive. Number two is only specialized people can manage it.
Sir, can you go back to your slide?
Yes, I'm just
No,
bringing out just this one picture here so
now
that I
I
can
have
put it
a
in my slide.
thing now, Mike. So, like you know how you said, obviously all companies are moving to data centers and stuff like that. So, won't this be there in the data center as well, like over there?
Yes. So since many of the companies are moving into cloud, yes. So in normal companies won't be using FC, normal
Right,
companies, but in cloud data center it is heavily used.
right, right. So that's what I was saying. So essentially, if anything goes down, you just basically gotta call a technician anyway. So they'll already have like experts in whatever storage or whatever you really need for your architecture or whatever you really have for your architecture. There will be like people assigned to your services, right?
Uh,
Sorry.
uh,
Okay. So basically, obviously you have, let's say you have a SAN and, you have a couple of, like, you have two towers of servers, right? And you're running a very basic, like, website company, let's just say, right? And
right.
the only thing is that you're just storing, like, raw data of, like websites and stuff like that on your server. So, if anything does go down, God forbid, you're basically going to call the people who are in the data center and be like, do
Exactly.
whatever is needed,
Exactly.
right? Okay. Yeah.
Yes. Yes. That's the case for sure.
So would it be like more expensive? Like, obviously if you have these services as well?
Yes, it will be expensive, and just like I said, medium to large size company that are making good, there are in the market. They have and their products are being sold, and they have a lot of money. They can easily afford even the support for 1 year or 3 year, and they can
Right.
support the services of those specialists. Yes.
Right, right. Makes sense. Okay, thank you.
Okay. Okay. Excellent. And Naveed asked a question. Now we know a positive point about this FC storage that is very fast and it is expensive, but it's the disadvantage. Okay. So yeah, I answered that. So guys, here we can see FC storage. Now, as compared to FC storage, the real switch would look like this. So right here, here you can see a switch. So this is storage area network SAN, and here is FC right here. And these two boxes that you see right here bottom, these are the SAN storage boxes. So this is SAN storage one, and there are a lot of you can see these disks here. So these are all the disks. So here you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 disks here, seven here, seven here, seven here. So basically, this box is providing the complete storage. This box is connected to FC, and FC is connected to the server. So this is what SAN is. Now let's see the biggest difference between SAN FC and SAN iSCSI. Guys, SAN iSCSI is exactly like the same box. Here you can see this is a big box of iSCSI, and iSCSI is also a box like this, but iSCSI is cheaper compared to FC. The reason why iSCSI is cheaper, I mean, both are serving the same purpose. What is the purpose? The purpose is to provide disk to the server. So for this server, you need to provide a disk. iSCSI is also providing the disk. The difference is that iSCSI doesn't have its own infrastructure. iSCSI is connected to your TCP/IP infrastructure. So it is relying on your infrastructure. You don't for iSCSI, you don't have to have FC switch, you don't have to have HBA, you don't have to have SP, which is storage processor. So iSCSI, for iSCSI, you just need a box, iSCSI box, and connect it to your TCP/IP network. So now that can for that you will have to rely on your TCP/IP network. Okay, so that's the big difference between iSCSI and FC. FC has its own infrastructure on which it will guarantee a speed of 2 GB, 4 GB, 8 GB, and 10 GB. And how do you differentiate on all that, guys? When you buy an FC, you need to, they will ask you what type of speed do you need on FC, because the price tag is different on all of them. This might be cheaper, this might be the most expensive. So if your company is interested in 8 GB, then they'll have to pay 8 GB, and this all infrastructure will be 8 GB infrastructure.
I have a question, sir.
Yes, please go ahead.
How do we calculate, or how do we suggest that we need a 4 GB speed of the disk or 8 GB speed of the disk? What is the formula? Not the
Excellent.
formula, but how can we find out?
Yes. So that depends on your requirement. That depends on your requirement. Why are you buying a storage for your organization? So most of the time in this infrastructure, in this virtual infrastructure or a cloud infrastructure, everything relies on what application you're running in this environment. So for example, in here, if I can go to my ESXi host, basically I've set up a ESXi host for my environment, but the main thing in this environment is the VMs that are hosted on this environment. So if I go to my virtual machine here, within virtual machine, I can see only one virtual machine. For now, it's just showing 0. So here I have 5 virtual machines on this. So based on my requirement, and how do I know that how much storage or speed I need? So guys, to answer that, that depends on that what is the application and what is the requirement of that application. For example, my website department comes to me saying that, I need a VM with a very fast storage. And your question will be that why do you need a VM with a very fast storage? Because then they will tell you, we have a website where 1 million users will be connected to. There are 1 million users. So based on that requirement, I'm just giving you an idea that if 1 million users are to connect to this VM, it means this VM needs to be on a fast storage as compared to a VM where only 10 users are connected. So I mean, this is one of those formulas. And in order to basically decide that if you need a SAN or you need a iSCSI, I mean, cheaper option is iSCSI. iSCSI you can get it for 2000. SAN you can get it for 10,000. So basically this all depends on the application requirement. And since your website team is saying no, we need a fast storage, then your next question, do you have a budget? So, and then it goes to the management. Management will say, yes, we are getting from this website, we are already earning $100,000. So spending $10,000 on this SAN is not a big thing. So this is how we decide that what type of SAN is required. It will never be your and my decision, not my decision, not your decision. It will be a decision of the management and the application department who are looking for this storage. They need to convince the management, my application is making $100,000, so we can spend 10,000 on the storage.
So I can I ask you a question, sir?
Please go ahead.
So you said that the SAN storage comes with its own accessories. That means FC switches and all the accessories.
Right.
But like, for example, so TD Bank, it has an application on an EXI server, and the data storage must be very, very far away, and it doesn't work on the TCP/IP. Then how is it possible that they're going to provide such a big mileage of infrastructure?
Can you repeat your question, please, Faz? Stay close to the mic because your voice dropped. That's why I'm not able to understand the question.
Can you hear me now properly, sir?
You're still a bit far. Maybe you can just make it. Yes, you can go ahead. You can go ahead. Ask your question.
My question is, sir, you
Yes.
said that SAN storage comes with its own accessories like switches and everything,
Right.
but it also doesn't work on the TCP/IP network. So in case of like TD Bank application, for example, it is hosted on ESXi server,
Yes.
but the storage must be very far away from the main ESXi server. So how does it like SAN caters for such a big distance?
No. Yes. So guys, everyone, the question is, let's say a VM is hosted on ESXi host and the storage is on the same network somewhere else. How does it work? So in order to answer that, Faz and everyone, whenever we install SAN, we install SAN close to where it is required. So if SAN is required in Mississauga branch or a Brampton branch or a New York branch, then we will make sure that the SAN is in the next rack to the server. So it's not far from the servers where it is required.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Abdullah asked a question. So FC storage can be connected to outside world means user machine LANs uses media converter. Hmm? Uh, I don't understand that question, Abdullah. Can you repeat your question? I mean, over the
So what I'm saying, Nansap, if we have a FC storage
yes.
in our computer room, not a data center, a mid-sized company, and they want to install a FC storage because they need speed. Still, they can use it for the external users. There will be like a switch that can convert FC signals into standard TP-Link signals or TCP/IP, where you can connect your RJ45. So that device that's called converts this is called a media converter that
Hmm.
converts from FC fiber channels to
Ethernet.
RJ45
Ethernet. Yes.
Ethernet.
Yes, yes. So that's a bit cheaper option. Yes. So that's a
Yeah.
bit cheaper option, and which is exactly in the next slide right here, which is known as FCOE. FCOE. FCOE, guys, is FCOE is basically a technology that where you don't need an FC switch, where your company wants to go with a cheaper solution. It will still be a SAN, but it can work on Ethernet network or TCP/IP network. So it will be still a SAN storage. So it's a SAN storage, but you can, instead of using the FC switch, you will use a FCOE switch. And FCOE switch is basically a switch on Ethernet. It is connected to it is connected to normal ESXi host on a normal TCP/IP network. So this will be a TCP/IP network, which is basically what Abdullah just mentioned, which is media converter. So guys, in this first slide, we have seen that FC is a fiber channel storage. Number one, please write that in your notes, guys, because I have a lot of things to cover here. I will try to write them in my notes, but please keep on writing in your notes here, and I will share this slide as well with you.
Sir, I want to ask one thing. So this FC is like fiber channel, right? So, sir, I will need to clear one thing. It is supporting or it is compatible for only fiber optics, like because nowadays, sir, telecommunication is moving to fiber optics, right?
You're
So
right.
speed is going to fiber. So fiber
Exactly.
definitely provide maximum speed, 1 giga or 2 gig. So that's why I'm asking, sir. This fiber is only like fiber sub compatible or like copper as well.
No, no, it's only fiber. When it says fiber, it's fiber. It's not copper.
And this iSCSI, sir.
The iSCSI is all copper. Yes,
Okay.
iSCSI is copper, which is the
Okay.
normal network cable. So this is the normal network cable. Fiber channel, what they are saying on internet, that everything will be on fiber. It will
Yeah.
be fiber, but it's not a true fiber. Remember, because
Yeah.
they are providing fiber between exchange to exchange. So one Rogers exchange to another Rogers exchange, or one ISP to another ISP. But to your home, it is still a copper. You can still
Yeah.
get that fiber channel to your home as well, but if you're paying to pay a lot of amount for the infrastructure, but it is kind of a fiber, but it's not a pure fiber. Okay.
Right.
Guys, the second type of technology that we need to remember right here, which is FCOE, which is cheaper solution than this. All the features of fiber are there. So what are the features that I want you to remember? Guys, I want you to remember these features here. So I'm going to just number them. Number one, fiber FC stands for fiber channel, number one. Number two, it is the most expensive storage available. Number three, it is the most fast storage available, fast and reliable, and it comes in 4 different speeds. It is also going into 100 GB later on. For now, it is not available, but 4 speeds are available, which is 2 GB, 4 GB, 8 GB, and it has its own infrastructure. So number five is infrastructure. It is number five is it has its own infrastructure, and you can remember with the example of home and airport, this example. And within number six, we need to remember that host bus adapter are the adapter that are connected to ESXi host. So this is number six. You need to remember host bus adapter connect to ESXi host, or in real DL380. So you bought a new server and you need FC. So FC comes with a complete package. It will be a big box in which you have the storage with the disk, and also it has HBAs. You can take out the HBAs, connect here, and also the switch. FC switch is the one that is connected in between the storage, and here you have SPA. This is storage processor. So SP is a storage processor. Just like laptop has a CPU, central processor, in storage has its own processor. So all the traffic is going through FC2, SP1, and SP2. Guys, a little cheaper solution is FCOE. So if your company is not willing to pay for the FC storage, and HBA will be definitely there, but FCOE can connect to HBA, and it can connect to a normal NIC as well. Here you can see it's a normal NIC where the normal storage is connected. So this is known as FCOE, which is fiber channel over Ethernet. This is fiber channel over Ethernet. Over Ethernet meaning that it is over normal network. So that is a cheaper solution, and it is connected to CNA. CNAs are converged network adapter. Converged network adapter, which is this, it can work with both of the traffic. It can handle HBA traffic, and it can also handle the normal NIC traffic as well. So it can work with both type of solution. Guys, the third type of storage is iSCSI storage. Guys, iSCSI storage, as I said, it is a block level storage. So iSCSI storage, number one, it's a block level storage. So block level storage, always remember that it is fast. So block level storage, number one, it is a block level storage. Number two, it is a fast storage. Number three, it is cheaper than FC. So cheaper than FC. It is cheaper than FC. And remember why FC was expensive. Naveed, why FC is expensive, Naveed?
Yeah, FC is expensive because it gives the guaranteed advertised speed.
Excellent. And second reason?
Second reason that it does not rely on the normal network. It
It
has
has
its
its
own
own
infrastructure.
infrastructure. Very good, very good.
Yes,
So it's
and it
it
needs
right. Go ahead.
HBA host bus adapter, and HBA is an adapter which is designed to connect with this FC storage.
Very good, everyone. So I want you to take a picture of this in your mind, guys. Save that in your photo memory. And this is how I remember it, guys. This is how I remember it. Yes, I went through the books as well. As being a trainer, I need to go through the books as well. But here, guys, this is the main essence of this, what we need to remember. It has its own, Abdullah says it has its own infrastructure. If you can remember these 7 points here, guys, you can talk about FC in an interview. You can talk about, and this is how much they need to know. Would they ask you how to install FC? No, they will never ask you, because they will ask that question to a storage specialist who is SAN specialist, and SAN specialists are highly paid. Maybe down the line, maybe in 4 or 5 years, you want to become a storage specialist, and actually it's a very narrow path. And if somebody is a storage specialist, only being a storage specialist doesn't work nowadays, because nowadays you have to be an expert in multiple technologies at the same time. So this is why we are learning servers, we are learning VMware, this is why we are learning the cloud technology, so that we can have everything in place. But here you need to remember this, and I want you to take a moment and put it in your photo memory. Photo memory, how do you put it on your photo memory? Draw this on your rough page. So draw, if you can once draw this on your rough page, make an ESXi host, make make a two squares, one called HBA that connects to FC and that connects to SP, and that is the storage. And inside you have disks here. If you can draw that on a rough page and you can say that out loud for a moment, and that's it, guys. It stores in your photo memory. And remember, day after tomorrow, one day after, explain it to someone, call someone from your group. And guys, please don't mind when you call each other, because we are all learning. We need to learn that. We need to we need to compete. The IT professionals, guys, call them for 2 seconds. Okay, this cannot be done in 2 seconds, maybe 10 seconds, maybe 15 seconds. Explain FC. So I'm going to explain FC. Number one, ESXi host connect to HBA connects to FC connects to SP. And where are you getting all this information? Not from my verbal, guys. You're getting this from your photo memory. So remember, photo memory is an excellent memory that you use for interviews, for discussions, for even implementation and everything. So photo memory, you can make your photo memory faster by draw it and remember it. Okay. Yes, go ahead. Anyone wants to say anything? Okay. So guys, the next one is FCOE. The only difference between FC and OE means that this FC is SAN. It is still a SAN, but it will be connected over, if it is still be FC SAN, but it will be connected over normal network, So always remember, Ethernet is always known as normal network. Whereas the third type of storage is iSCSI storage. Guys, iSCSI storage, guys, always remember, whenever the word storage comes, guys, even in interviews, everything. So in the back of your mind, you should start remembering the USB stick. So USB stick, and the main thing in the USB stick is this Tera. You bought this USB stick for disk, right? So we are buying the USB sticks for our children. We are buying this for ourselves. We are buying this for everyone. And why do we need to buy a USB stick? Because basically we need to store something in the USB stick. So when we buy a iSCSI storage, it is still in a box, number one. And here are the disks that are available where we need to store our VM. So essentially in VMware, we are buying these boxes to store our ESXi host. So here, what happens is that this iSCSI storage, number one, it is connected over normal IP switches. So normal physical switches. Here, there is no FC switch. So right here, you can see that here, so basically ESXi host, we need to have ESXi iSCSI initiator. So iSCSI initiator is the adapter, is the normal network adapter where we connect to IP switch, normal switch, and that connects to the storage array in the back, which is these disks available. Disk number one, disk number two, disk number three, disk number four, disk number five. And here in iSCSI, you can also have HBAs as well. You can also have HBAs, and it can, and this iSCSI storage have SPA as well. But this HBA is especially for iSCSI. So iSCSI, the main difference is that it is cheaper because it doesn't have its own infrastructure. But guys, cheaper doesn't mean that it's really cheaper. Nowadays, even iSCSI companies are selling high-speed storage as well. So even iSCSI comes in all these different. It can come as 1 GB speed, and it can come as 10 GB speed as well, and it is going 100 GB as well. So they are providing, and iSCSI can be as expensive as $50,000. So yes, iSCSI has also developed a technology where they can give more speed, but they can still not compete with FC. No storage can compete with FC. FC is the most expensive, fastest, reliable storage, but companies can also use iSCSI. Most of the time, the use of FC in the enterprise world is enterprise tech companies, whereas iSCSI is mostly used for the test dev environment or not the production environment. Or maybe an expensive iSCSI can be used in the production in production environment as well. But the main difference is both are SAN storage. So SAN is of two types, guys. How many types? Two types, which is number one, FC. Number two is iSCSI. So if you can just rough on your rough pad, just write that SAN is of two types, FC and iSCSI. FC is fast. So just like that, FC is fast. iSCSI is slower, but it's not as slower as, I mean, as slower than FC. Here it comes in four different speed, 4, 2, 4, 8, 10. Whereas this comes as 1 GB, 10 GB, and going 100 GB. So these are different speeds there. And then this is expensive. So here I'm going to say this is expensive. This is cheaper. This is has its own infrastructure. I'm just giving you the way to remember this. Just keep on writing this. Even after the lecture, maybe tomorrow after the lecture, just pick up a rough page and start writing this. Just start writing that whatever in your mind, and that will become more and more and more and more stronger whenever they ask you a question in an interview, and maybe you're not prepared in that interview. For first of all, in interviews we need to go prepared, so we will prepare each and every word of job description, and we will be 100% prepared for the interview. But in case you forgot to remember that and they ask you what is the difference between, what is FC, guys, click. At that point, that photo should come back to your mind, and you need to remember that you need to remember this picture. If you can remember this picture, guys, and you made it few times, you explain it to some time, and you made somebody an expert of this picture, guys, you will never ever ever forget that. So this is iSCSI technology, and in ESXi host we will use iSCSI technology.
Sir, I
Sir,
have a question.
Please go ahead.
Sir, FC protocol is TCP/IP or not?
No, FC has its own protocol.
Protocol, right?
Yes, it has
Okay.
its own protocol. It doesn't rely on TCP/IP.
That's good. That's good.
So which means that
okay.
it doesn't have IP address. Which means it doesn't have IP address. It has its own unique numbering. Okay.
Even it's a SCSI under the FC storage.
Yes, even in iSCSI is using TCP/IP network, the normal
Yeah.
network, but
Yeah.
even iSCSI doesn't have IP addresses. So if you guys remember from failover cluster lab that we did in the servers, in failover cluster lab, you need to have iSCSI initiator configured. So on one side, you need to configure iSCSI target, and the other side, you need to configure iSCSI initiator. iSCSI initiator is always the server side. And this is where the storage is. This is always iSCSI target. This is always refers to as, this is iSCSI target, and this is iSCSI initiator. So whenever the word iSCSI target comes, that means it is referring to this box. In other words, this is referring to that USB. So basically, this is the box is referred to as iSCSI target, and iSCSI initiator is always on the server side.
Sir, there are two boxes at the top, which is SPA and SPB. Sir, what is that?
So SP stands for storage processor. So SP stands for storage. So this is just a CPU of storage. So for storage, in order to make it faster, they installed CPUs inside, especially for storage, just like a laptop has a CPU, right? So SP stands for storage processor. So this is storage processor A, this is storage processor B.
I'm still confused that this FC storage or FCOE or iSCSI, these are not physical disks, or these are virtual disks.
No, these are physical. This is a physical storage. So this box is a physical box that you paid for. You paid $10,000 and you received this complete, just like a server. It's a separate device, complete separate device.
Okay. Now we are talking about virtual machines, and now the disk is physical. I'm confused about the connectivity of it.
Okay, very good. Yes. So first of all, we will get this device we receive it from IBM. Let's say this is IBM storage and you paid, and then you receive it after 2 weeks. So in 2 weeks, you received it, a big box in your office. You will open the box and now you are ready to connect. So on your ESXi host, you will connect HBA, and HBA will be connected to a switch, and switch will be connected to this. Now in the VMs, first of all, we need to configure that, and this will be available in ESXi as a data store. So it will be available as a data store, and in that data store, we will be storing VMs. So
Mm-hmm.
in ESXi host, remember that we need to create a data store. So
Mm-hmm.
once we add the disk here, then we convert it into data store, and then we add VMs to this.
Correct. Okay. So in this whole diagram, only the disk is a physical device, and rest is all virtual.
Rest is all virtual, yes. So here we have a VM that is sitting in this disk. Actually, the disk is sitting, the VM is sitting here in this disk.
So basically,
Okay.
sir, everything is, sir, sir, basically,
Sir, yeah.
Yes, Alamgir, go ahead.
so basically everything is being designed or set up in the data centers, but our job is to just go on HTTP and login and get everything like any like storage from EXI host, right? But basically it's
Exactly.
coming from the
Real storage.
data.
Yes, yes. Basically, our job is to manage this ESXi host. We are sitting on this layer. In the back end, the disks are coming from the storage. So storage, the disks are
The
coming here.
data center, right? So
Yes,
everything is being set in data center.
exactly, exactly.
So,
So just again, Adnan
so
bhai, so
sir, in
FC and
sir,
iSCSI would have their own numbering system, right? No IP addresses.
It won't, it won't. There are no
Okay.
IP addresses in this. It has unique numbering, yes.
so
Okay.
sir, in other words, we have to arrange for this space from the FC area, and then we have to make it into data store. How we have to.
Yes, yes. So we have, so what was your question? Where do we have to arrange a space?
No, no, no. My understanding or my perception of my question is like all what we have to do as a VMware administrator is like we have to arrange for data spaces or data stores like we added this space in the SSI server virtually, and then we have to convert it into data store, and then uh,
Then we need to install VM in the data store. Yes, that is our job.
okay, thank you.
Okay.
Sir,
Zishan,
I
you had a question. Yes.
want to clear, yeah. Yeah, sir, I want to relate this question with any internet providing company, let's say Rogers or Bell. So that thing I might be will clear my mind. Sir, for example, if the fiber option, if because right now everyone is in transmission of fiber optics, so once it will be completely fiber, will it work or not, sir?
Okay, I lost your voice. Can you repeat your question?
Now you are
Uh, uh, so you're connected from your phone. Try reconnecting again.
So,
But hold on. Zishan, one quick question. So you're
yes,
connected from
yes,
your
yes, sir,
phone.
yes,
You're connected from your phone, uh,
yes, sir.
opening Zoom through Zoom, or you're dialing into Zoom. Because on the phone you can install Zoom application and then connect from there, or you can dial the local number in Zoom.
sir, in the meantime, when Zishan Bhai comes, can I ask you a question?
Please go ahead.
Yes, sir. So, like once you are on ESXi host, so if you need a storage, so you need to request for a storage, or it will be available. You have to ask that how much storage you need. Then you have to
Exactly,
select
exactly.
data center.
Exactly, yes. So once you're in ESXi host, and let's say I need 20 GB of storage from this, so I would send an email to the storage admin. So there is a special admin of this storage, and I will send in an email. I need 20 GB of disk. Can you provide it to me? So that guy will go into the storage, create a 20 GB disk, and then provide it to you. Once it is provided to you, you can create a data store and install VMs inside. Yes, this is how it is.
Okay, thank you.
Okay,
I have a
but for
question, sir.
yes, please go ahead.
Sir, being a system admin, what will be our role in configuring it, or in terms of the infrastructure, or for the storage?
No role. We are not configuring anything on the storage. The storage will already be there configured by, and even if it is a new storage, let's say
Mm-hmm.
you're working in a medium sized company,
Okay, so
and they
this
don't
is
have and they don't have a storage team. So even in that case, whoever whatever company you're buying storage from, they will send a storage specialist. He will configure it for you and give it to you. And if later on, if there is any problem, you don't have to troubleshoot. This will be this, you will open a call, call them just like we call Rogers or our internet provider, and tell them, my disk is not available, what can I do? So most of the time they will provide you support over the phone. If it is not fixed, then they should visit you. This is why they are charging $10,000. So they will provide you everything.
okay. Second question is, what kind of lab are we going to do in terms of this storage?
Yes, so we will be configuring iSCSI storage in our network, and in iSCSI storage, we will use a virtual storage appliance that is known as OpenFiler, and we will connect that SAN. So it will be completely acts as a SAN, and then we will connect. So for now, we are not going into the lab, but to answer your question, yes, we will be using iSCSI storage.
Wonderful. One more last thing, sir. If you can go back to that picture for FCOE.
Yes.
Yeah, this is the one. Give me one quick minute. Sorry about that.
Okay. So no
Got it.
problem. So guys, here. Okay. So right here, this is FCOE. But at the moment, guys, I want you to just remember these concepts here. iSCSI is a SAN storage as well, and here we have disks. Disks are connected to ESXi host, and where we store our VMs. Now, a fourth type of storage is known as NFS storage. NFS storage is just a normal file share. NFS storage is a normal file share. In NFS stands for network file share, and it's the slowest form of shared storage. I mean, it is not as fast as SAN storage. It is NFS stands for network file share. So this
We
is,
lost your voice.
sorry.
Yeah, we lost your voice, but now it's okay.
Okay. Okay. So, and
Sir, I have a question.
yes, please go ahead.
Are we doing any lab today?
I don't think so. No.
Sir, the reason I have a request, actually, I have a project today at 5 a.m.
Okay. Okay.
because we are going to shut down all the server for one of the sites.
Okay.
So,
That's
so
fine.
can I
That's
leave?
fine.
Can I leave?
Yes, yes.
Because
You
I want
can.
to sleep early and then I have to wake up
Okay,
early.
okay, that's fine. So today we don't have a lab. We just need to understand the storage technology, but please go through the video, please.
I will.
Sir,
I will.
I have
Okay,
a
thank you.
question here.
Yes,
Thank
please
you,
go
sir.
ahead. You're most welcome.
Sir, so ESXi host is a virtual machine, right?
No,
But
ESXi host is a physical server.
okay, then okay. Sorry,
Okay.
but we will log in HTTP, right?
So once we install ESXi host, then from the other computer, from Windows
Yeah.
computer, we log in, we connect to this through HTTP. Yes.
So yeah, so like this whole setup, like ESXi host and everything, that will be kind of they will be in the data centers.
Yes, ESXi host will be in the data center, and you will be in the office. You will connect to this HTTP, and then it connects you to ESXi host.
Okay,
Yes.
so yeah, that was my confusion that if these are physical, like and NIC is physical and LAN switch is physical, so this must be also physical, right? So ESXi host too. So it's
Yes,
clear
yes,
now.
it is. It is. Yes.
Okay,
Guys,
thank
the
you.
fourth type of storage is NFS storage, and NFS storage is basically a slower form of storage. I don't think NFS storage is used anywhere other than maybe a test lab. Even the test lab, we don't use NFS storage. It is a slower It is a slower storage. And as you can see, this doesn't have anything special. It is just a simple physical switch connected to network cards. So here you have a storage box in which there are disks available. In the disk that is connected to your ESXi host. It's just a storage. So if you don't have SAN, if you don't have iSCSI, if you don't have that fast storage available, then you can still make use of NFS storage. So NFS is still a shared storage. It can be used, it's not used anywhere, but this is a fourth type of storage where you can store VMs.
Okay. So what I want to say is basically, or what I think, maybe I'm not wrong, but please clear my confusion that iSCSI storage is the most common like storage solution which is being used in most of the companies because it is cheap, but it is absolutely fast. On the other hand, what do you think?
Nanbay, can
No.
you go back to the other NFS storage?
Yes, yes.
Thank you.
Okay, so to answer that, everyone, the question is, iSCSI is iSCSI the most common type of storage used in all of the companies because it's cheaper and it is serving the purpose? To answer that, no. Most of the companies are using FC storage or the SAN storage FC because it is using most of the companies are using because it is faster, it's reliable, and medium to large size companies, since they are making revenue on top of their applications, they don't risk getting a slower storage. So then that goes to maybe your next question. Then where is iSCSI used? iSCSI is mostly used in the dev and test environment, not in the real. In production environment, it will always be not it. So FCOC won't be here. I mean, this is one option, just like NFS, not used anywhere, but mostly it will be FC, this type of storage. And secondly, the second number is iSCSI.
Mm. And this iSCSI has basically some sort of risk factor. That is why FC is the most common storage solution, which most of the companies are using.
Exactly. Okay.
Got it. Thank you.
So right here in this table, we can see that storage protocol comparison. Here we have all these different type of storage. VMFS is that data store where VMs are stored. Remember that when we create our data store, the disk is formatted with VMFS, and we learned that, I think, in the previous lecture and previous to previous lecture. VMFS stands for VM file system. VM file system where everything is, and VM file system, all these types of all these storage are support, they support VMFS storage. Also DAS can be used, and also vSphere virtual volumes can be used, and vSAN. So this is just a table for information. There is nothing important here. Consideration when choosing the best storage: whenever you need to choose between iSCSI storage and you need to choose between the FC storage, these are the things that we go through, like capacity. How much capacity do you need? What should be the performance? What about the existing application requirement, if it is a web application or if it is a SQL application? Resiliency, then reliability. So these are many different features where we need to choose a storage. I mean, the very basic idea behind choosing a storage is what I already mentioned, and I think one of you asked the question that how do we choose from that. Now that is chosen from sitting with the application team, and then also that what is the budget for your company. So the topmost storage is FC, second number is iSCSI. Now data store, we already know what is a data store. Anyone can define what is a data store?
Data store is nothing but a disk drive.
Right. Data store is nothing but a formatted disk drive, right? So when we add a new disk, it becomes a device. So it's a normal device. It becomes a normal device, and when you basically format that device, it becomes a data store. And in that data store, VMs are stored. So you create a first VM, it will be stored in the data store. You create a second VM, it will be stored in the data store. So by definition, it is a data store is a logical storage unit. You get a LUN, which is a logical unit number. So LUN is logical unit number. You get a LUN from a physical storage and and assign it to the ESXi host and create a data store. We will go into more, little bit more depth on LUN, which is logical unit number. And this logical unit number is basically a partition of iSCSI and SAN storage. So when we configure a SAN storage here, there we will configure this technology. But here we need to remember data store is always a formatted disk, just like a volume in a Windows server. So types of data store, there can be all these different types of data store: VMFS data store, NFS data store, RDM data store, vSAN data store, and vvolume data store as well. So the most common type of data store is VMFS. Now let's see that in our lab. Let's see that. So if I go to my ESXi host, everyone, let's go to ESXi host. And whenever you are basically formatting a disk, let's say in order to have a data store inside ESXi host, how do you get a data disk in ESXi host? First of all, you need to go to the ESXi host, and within ESXi host, we will add a disk. So we will add a disk into ESXi host. So you will get into settings and you will add a new disk. Once you add a disk, because I'm not adding a disk because I have to restart ESXi host. Once you add a disk, you will go into data store, you will go into storage, and first of all, that disk won't be here in the data store. Why is it not here? Because it is still a raw disk, and raw disk is available in devices. So here you should have a raw disk available. So let's say this disk is available and it's not formatted, this 100 GB. So 100 GB, in order to format this disk, I can create a data store. So create a new data store, you will name it. So let's say I name it as VM disk. So I'm about to create a disk where I can store my VMs inside. So VM disk 1, and so this is VM disk 1, and in VM disk 1, when I'm about to create, it is saying that you have 40 GB available. I think my 100 GB is already formatted. This is why it's not showing the 100 GB. The 40 GB was available because I haven't formatted it, and I can choose from here. Now, would you need to format it with VMFS? So here it is asking that option that we were discussing right here, that what type of data store would you need, VMFS, NFS, or these different type of data store. So, and going back to our data store, right here, I can select from here VMFS 5 or VMFS 6. So other options are available when you have different type of disk. Let's say if the disk is coming from vSAN, which is the virtual SAN, which is the storage area network. So then you will get those options. But here, when you're partitioning it a local disk, then it will be either VMFS5 or VMFS6. We'll leave that as is, and you can further partition that into smaller space as well. So let's say I don't want 40 GB, I need 20 GB. So I can select here. I can select here that it should give me an option. So custom, and in the next screen, so no partition has been selected. So okay, so it is already giving me that partition before that. And where is it giving me the partition? So custom and custom. So this is a full disk, and so this is my partition. Free space and partition. So select how would you like to partition the device. So we can go with the full disk, which is 40 GB, and partition. Okay, next, and no partition has been selected. And it's not providing me a partition. Oh, maybe it is somewhere where I need to, it's not shown here. Hmm.
Might be in device select, no? Select device, maybe. If you go back.
Okay. And if I go back here, I can select the device, and going to the device, there is nothing. Okay. Now it is showing me the partition. So this is full. And if I go to custom, yes, from one of these, I need to select. Yes, right here. Okay, now it can show. Okay, wow, how confusing, man. So sometimes you'll have to just go back and refresh the screen, then it would show. Here it's not showing me anything. So when I click on this, then in here, in a moment, it should, so again it's not showing, so sometime it's just a bit slow. Yes, it was just a bit slow, and now here you can partition this. So I can partition this to 20 GB, leave out 20 GB, and next. So guys, that gives us a lesson that please do not give up and try again and again and again. So sometime it's just a bit slow. So I've created this data store, and now going back into the data stores, I can see my 20 GB disk, but I still have another 20 GB available. For that, I can also make an VMFS volume. So here now I can see, would you like to create a VMFS volume, or would you like to mount a NFS volume here? For now, we are just going to create a new VMFS volume, or you can extend an existing volume, meaning extend means that if you need to extend this 19 GB to 20 GB, so I can do that as well. To extend that, sometimes you do need an extension. So let's extend 19 GB. So I'm saying extend the existing VMFS volume. So which volume would you like to extend? So I'll extend 19 GB to, let's say, 22 GB. So here, so select device on which to create a new VMFS volume.
Sir, can I say something?
Yes, please go ahead.
Sir, in order to add or remove any kind of disk, is it like this is recommended, or this has to be done that from the host machine, you add a disk or you remove a disk, right? Now, in this situation, if you are increasing the disk size, aren't you going to increase the disk size from the host machine first?
Yes, so this is why it's not letting me extend the volume, because we don't have a raw disk available. Okay, so this is why when I go and I try to extend anything, it's saying that no device is available, because the half partition that is available, that is not considered as raw disk. So yes, you're 100% right. If I need to extend this, I need to go into the ESXi host, add a new raw disk, and then extend a volume. Otherwise, it won't let us extend the volume. I can create a new volume though.
Correct. Thank you.
So I am creating a new volume, and even that is not available, because it's saying that the rest of the disk is not available that I partitioned. So maybe I can partition that volume. So here I have 40 GB, and from here I can rescan.
Sir,
Yeah.
if you want to increase the 40 GB here, then like why you are not going to the host machine and increase the capacity of this disk here first
Yes,
from the
yes.
host machine?
Yes. So if I need to increase this 40 GB, if I need to increase this 40 GB, then the only way to increase this 40 GB, I need to go to the ESXi host and go to settings. And within the settings, I need to increase that 40 GB from there. But here I wanted to use the other part of the partition as well. So I needed to use the other part of the partition, because there was a 20 GB left. So I just wanted to create another data store based on that 20 GB. But okay, so
So, sir,
let's see.
like out of 40, only 20%, 20 GB was kind of made volume.
Yes, out of 40 GB, only 19 GB was created, and 19 GB should be left.
Okay.
Okay.
So,
So I'm just looking for that, but I'm just going back to Naveed's question, that if I need to extend the existing 40 GB, I can
Yes.
select the disk and expand from here. But
Right. And you need to power it off first to go into that
exactly,
option.
exactly. So
Right.
why this is all grayed out? Because the server is running. when you shut down the server, you can always expand this 40 GB to 60 GB, and then from inside the server, you can expand that as well. So yes, that is correct. And here I have different data stores available. So different data store is right here, which is this one, this disk. I can always delete the disk as well, going back to actions, and I can delete the disk. I can delete the disk right from here and recreate
So
the
you
disk
can
with the full 40.
rescan it. Like once you expand the disk from the host machine,
And you can
you can
rescan it.
rescan it. Right.
Yes, you can rescan that disk as well. Okay. So guys, today, so we know these basic disk concepts. Basic disk concept is that you add a disk, then you will make a device as well, and then you can connect to the disk. Now here, I today in the last half an hour, so we have half an hour left. So before I can start, this is a very, very important topic about iSCSI storage. And I wanted to go through this iSCSI storage so that you have some work to do before the next lecture. Let's take 2 minutes break here, guys. 2 minutes break. So just 2 minutes freshen up break. And in 2 minutes, we will start again.
Can you go back to the slides really quick, if you don't mind, Adnan bhai?
Yes, for sure.
Thank you.
So 2 minutes freshen up break, everyone. Okay, guys, we're back. So let's take this 20 minutes that we have. Let's try to make them useful. So I'm going to jump onto my whiteboard. So what do we need to do today is we just need to understand iSCSI network, and we need to understand that how we can connect this together, how we can use the iSCSI in this network and make it a data store. So guys, please type yes in the chat window if you're available. I know everyone might be tired, but guys, just let's take these 15 minutes just for understanding here. So first of all, what do we need to do? What do we need to do, everyone? We need to basically have iSCSI storage attached to our server. So first of all, our current server is like this. So we have ESXi host number one, and currently we have 5 VMs on our ESXi host. So currently we have 5 VMs on our ESXi host. So I'm going to just make these VMs here. So this is VM number one and VM number two, VM number three, VM number four, VM number five. Now these all VMs that we see, and I'm referring to these VMs, guys. So we are trying to understand, and I am referring to these VMs here. So on our ESXi host one, these are the VMs that I'm referring to: one, two, three, four, five, and there is VCSA here as well. So that doesn't matter how many VMs and what type of VMs here. The main thing that I wanted to make sure, the point that I wanted to make is that these VMs are stored in the local disk of this ESXi host. So these are the VMs, and they are stored where they are all stored in the local disk of ESXi host. So if I go to my storage, in the storage, these VMs are, some of them are stored in data store one, and some of them are stored. So let's say if I go to my data store one here and go to data store browser, here I can see my app server 01, DB server 1, and web server 2. So out of 5 VMs, 3 VMs are stored right here. And if I go to my ISO disk, I have VCSA stored on this one. VCSA stored on this one. So guys, we do understand that this is how we can check that where is the VM stored on ESXi host. So VMs are stored, is you need to go into the data store. So my app server 1 VM is stored right here. If I can go into this folder, it has these disks. So each VM is made up of all these files: VMX file, a configuration file, this is the disk, this is a disk file, VMDK file is a disk file, and SD is the memory file. So these are all of the files that this VM is made up of, and there might be more files as well. We will learn that in another chapter. But for now, if I say that, tell me that show me where is your VM number, let's say VM number 5, or your web server is stored. So you can go into the data store and show me that where is your VM is stored. So currently our VMs are stored in data store one within. So we all understand that. Now let's look at this here. So if I can make it, so if I can make this according to this diagram, I have 5 VMs, and these all 5 VMs are stored into a disk here. So I have a disk called data store one. So I'm just going to call this data store one. And this is a disk that is available in this server. And basically that disk is a physical disk that is attached to this disk. So we can call this data store one as a local disk. So this is a local disk, and I have VM number 1 stored here, VM number 2 stored here, VM number 3, VM number 4. Guys, is that understandable? Please type yes in the chat window, because I need your attention. And this is a simple concept. So VM number 1 that we can see here is stored in data store 1, VM number 2 is stored in data store 1, VM number 3 is data store 1, but these are all local storage. Guys, the problem with the local storage is that local storage cannot provide high availability. Local storage cannot provide high availability. Now, why am I saying local storage cannot provide high availability? So here we can understand local storage cannot provide high availability. This is the problem that we need to solve. Cannot provide HA, high availability. This is the problem that we need to solve. So we need to see a problem, and then we will be able to understand the solution for the problem. So why am I saying that local storage cannot solve this problem? Guys, because let's say all the VMs are sitting in the local disk of the storage. If this ESXi host goes down or crashed, everything will be crashed. So since this server is completely down and this is a local disk and this will be crashed, obviously, just like our laptop. If your laptop is dead or if your smartphone is dead and you have not taken a backup of your smartphone anywhere, your everything is gone. So these VMs are gone. So which means that local disk will never be a solution in the real network. For a real production serious network, you cannot use a local storage. So for that, we do need an external storage. In order to solve this issue, the solution for this problem will be external storage. You need to have some sort of external storage in which, so we need to have outside this ESXi host, we need to bring an external storage in and then move these VMs from here to here. So instead of here, we will move all the VMs into external storage. So VM number 1 will be here, VM number 2 will be here, VM number 3 will be here. This will be considered as external storage. So this is our solution, and this external storage will be connected to this ESXi host. So which means now VM number 1, so this is VM1, this is VM2, and this is VM3. Now these VMs are not sitting in local storage, but they are sitting in external storage. So which means that that all you need to do once they are in external storage, you can install another ESXi host, and if this ESXi host is down, your other ESXi host can be connected to this external storage and VM still be available. So this is the main purpose of external storage. External storage is that if this ESXi host is down, now you're not relying only on this ESXi host. Even if this is down, the second ESXi host can. So this is known as high availability. High availability of the VMs. Why now? Because now you can access these all storage, these all VMs from that other storage. Now, since we do understand now this, the solution for this problem, local storage cannot provide high availability. We all understand that. And for that, we need to bring external storage. Now, the question is, what type of storage we can work on? So in order to have external storage, we have these options. So external storage, we have these options. Either you can go for, first of all, you need to go for block level storage. First of all, you need to go for a block level storage. So here we need to understand, for an external storage, we need to either go for a file level storage. You have an option for file level storage or a block level storage. Now, file level storage or a block level storage both can provide external storage. File level storage is slow and is not good for the good for our environment. And file level storage, you have two options. In file level storage, either you can go with SMB or you can go with NFS. So NFS is one option where you can go for, but this is a slower type of storage. And in NFS, you can have an external storage and move the VMs outside. So in selecting an external storage, guys, always remember that we do need an external place where the VMs can be accessed through many ESXi hosts. If these both goes down, then the third ESXi host will be connected to the external storage and VMs are still available. In the block level storage, you have basically a few options. So first of all, you can go with FC storage, which is the most reliable option and expensive and fast. Second one, you can go with FCOE. FCOE is not used in many places, only in special places where you can use. But the third option is iSCSI. iSCSI is an option. Both are SAN, both are block level storage. So FCOE, I won't count that as an option. It is an option, but none of the companies are using it. Only used for in special circumstances where you need a combination of TCP and SAN storage available. FCOE is only used there, but mainly you will be faced with two options, either fiber channel storage or iSCSI storage. Now, who will decide this? This will be decided by your storage team and your management. This is not our decision. Whatever they will provide, what we need is an external storage. As a VMware admin, you're only interested in give me an external storage so that I can store my VMs inside. And here, the management and the application team and the storage team, they are deciding what type of storage do they need. If they have a lot of budget available, they can go with FC. There is, this is the best option that they can go for. They can go for FC. If they go for FC, then they need to have their own infrastructure. So they will request the financial department, they will buy this from the vendor, and the vendor will basically provide them with the complete package. And if they go with FC, if they go with FC, then FC comes with its own infrastructure. A specialist from the from fiber from SAN team of SAN company would come into your environment. They will provide an FC storage that has SPs connected to this, which is storage processors connected to this. Then that connects to a FC switch. Remember that we just learned that you have an FC switch. You can go back to the diagram, and that connects to HBA, that connect to HBA, and that HBA is on ESXi host. So ESXi host. So this is one option that they can go for. They can go with FC. It has its own infrastructure. It's fast, reliable. Guys, please during the week, please listen to this video one more time. Maybe driving and here and there, just to have more clear concepts. So ESXi host. So this is that. But the second option is iSCSI. In iSCSI, your company needs to buy just a storage device. They just need to buy a storage device and connect it to your ESXi environment. So in the lab, what we are going to do, we are going to implement iSCSI, because you cannot get FC as a virtual storage, or you cannot test on virtual storage. For that reason, this won't be available, but in functionality, both will be exactly the same. FC will provide you a disk to ESXi host, and iSCSI will provide you a disk to ESXi host. Now let's
I have a
quickly,
question.
yes, please go ahead.
Sorry to interrupt you, sir. I want to ask you that this kind of external storage will be connected by RJ45 or by USB?
Yes, a very good question. So we need to remember that FC will be connected through HBA, right? So FC will be connected to HBA, whereas iSCSI will be connected to normal network card. So iSCSI will be connected to normal network card. Does that answer your question?
iSCSI will be by normal network card, and the
FC will be connected to HBA.
HBA. Okay, got it. Okay, thank you.
So now let's quickly understand that what are we trying to do. So here we are just understanding, guys, so relax. We're not doing any lab at the moment. I know people are tired. So we are trying to understand now, in order to implement iSCSI solution in our network. So now we do understand the problem. The problem is the local disk cannot provide high availability, because if the server goes down, then the local data store is not reliable. For that reason, we do not add so many disks in ESXi host, because ESXi host disk is only used to host the operating system. And since we need to have these virtual machines inside, these virtual machine needs to be stored in outside the storage, outside the ESXi host. So virtual machine number 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. So these all are all the virtual machine that needs to be stored outside. So when we create a virtual machine, this will be stored outside the ESXi host. Now, in order to do that, we already have ESXi in our environment. So we already have ESXi01, and ESXi01 has all these servers, VMs that are sitting inside the storage. So inside the disk here, these all VMs are stored in this disk. We need to move them into external storage. In order to move them in external storage, everyone, we have a virtual storage, virtual SCSI software that we can use to do this, and that is known as OpenFiler. OpenFiler is a company that can provide us, that can simulate an iSCSI storage in our network. And so what we do is we will go into the OpenFiler website and download OpenFiler. So I'm just going to go there. Here, OpenFiler. So OpenFiler is basically it's an OpenFiler platform. It's open platform software defined storage, and OpenFiler is an operating system that provides file-based network attached storage, and it's a block level storage. So it's a SAN storage. So all we need to do is to and I'll share this link here. I'll share this link. You need to start downloading now so that it can be downloaded. And once you go to this link, everyone, just open that in your laptop and then go to download. And when you go to download, we need to download this. This will provide an ISO file. So here the OpenFiler distribution is available as an installable ISO file. So first of all, we need to download. I think this will take some time for you to download. So for that reason, we are just downloading it right now. I've shared the link here. And once we download this, so I'm downloading this link here.
So should we download it in EXI host server or just our own
No,
computer?
on your laptop, on your laptop. So this should be downloaded on your laptop. And what is it doing? Is it letting me download, or it's just...
You have to go lower actually. That's where the thing is.
Oh, yes, right here, right here, right here. Yes, it's here on the download. And once we download this, so it should start downloading now. And this is basically, this is an iSCSI SAN. So this will let us download the iSCSI SAN, and it's saying the download starts shortly. And this is downloading. I'm going to save that. So we don't need to open that. We need to save it. So
What
once we...
exactly is this, sir? What exactly is this? Is this a storage template or?
Yes, this is a storage. This is a storage OpenFiler iSCSI storage device. It's a virtual storage basically,
Okay.
just like a virtual server. So this will be a virtual storage, and so we will configure this storage so that we can store the VMs in the external. So this will be simulating external storage.
Okay, but how much is the capacity? Like, let's suppose we have got 20 GB size
Right.
of.
So yes, so we can add disks to that. So we can, once it is downloaded, it will act as a storage box. So basically, if I go to here, this will act exactly like exactly like this blue box that you're saying, and then later on we'll add disks to this. So we will add disks, and then we will configure the disk and then provide it to ESXi host. So at the moment, what we are doing, we are downloading this disk array, this storage box. So once it is downloaded, and you can see the file size is 5.7. So we will be downloading, and this is how it will look like. So while this is downloading, I'll show you guys in VMware Workstation, we have ESXi host, and in VMware Workstation, everyone, we will go and create a new virtual machine, and I will show you how this is created. So once it is created, this will be exactly like this server. So right here, this will OpenFiler will be like this, another VM in VMware Workstation, and we will name it OpenFiler server. So we will name this server as OpenFiler server. So OpenFiler server or OpenFiler SRV01, we can call this OpenFiler
So is it
SRV.
added just like a regular VM on the?
Exactly. Yes, it will be added as a regular VM. So once it is installed, then we will configure this.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay. So right here,
So do
once,
we, sorry,
yes,
sorry to
please
interrupt.
go ahead.
So do we do VM ESXi 6X on the operating system?
Oh, okay. So if you're already downloaded this, no, you
Yeah.
have to select Linux and then other Linux. So first of all, let me see if it is downloaded. I can quickly show it to you right here. So yes, it is downloaded. And all I need to do, guys, if you're not following me, it's fine. This is being recorded. So all we need to do is to just set up this basic machine. All I need to do is go to home and create a new VM. So when you create a new VM, you need to provide the ISO, and ISO will be the same ISO that we have downloaded here. I'm going there, and in this, I need to select the disk, which will be connected to my downloads. So in the download, I have this open filer and open and next. So it's reading the disk. And in here, I need to select Linux. So you need to select Linux. And in the Linux, you can select any one of them. It will be others Linux 2.4, kernel 60. So this is also Linux based. Or here you can select any one of them. It will work fine. But you cannot select Ubuntu, or you cannot select Red Hat or Debian or any other Linux, but it can work with other Linux. So you can select this one, Linux 2.4 X kernel 64. So Linux and this is the only difference, the way we create all other VMs inside. So when you select open filer, select Linux and this and next, and here provide a name, OpenFiler 01 or serve 01, you can name it anyway. And here the basic disk will be 8 GB to start with. So basic disk will be 8 GB. You don't need, so this is the disk that it requires for the operating system. This is not the disk where the VMs will be stored. Basically, this will act as an external disk. So we will add the disk later on. For now, we'll just leave it as is. Maximum disk capacity is 8 GB. And rest is we don't need to do anything else, or what you can do is you can add more disks here. We can add disks later on. So for now, this once this VM is, so this is just like a normal VM, everyone. I think till this time, it's nothing surprising. Everyone knows how to create a VM. We just downloaded this ISO and then we created this ISO here. And once it is on, and there are few other options that we need to do, and then this will be configured. So here, just like any other operating system, it is asking for few things, and you can go with just logical options. So we'll go with the first option to install and upgrade the graphical mode and press enter. And in this, as soon as you press enter, it will load up some files. Guys, remember that it is creating a storage here. So storage meaning that our ESXi server is sitting here, our Windows server is also sitting here. This is the new server that we are creating for OpenFiler. So OpenFiler server, and this is what is being configured here. So in this, it is just setting that up. So once it's set up the server, what happens is that the next So on this screen, it says next. And here we just need to select the keyboard, and here just select. Now in here, it's showing us the disk that it has, and we don't need to do anything. We just need to go next on this. This is the first disk that it is creating. It's just saying partition is okay. You do not define root partition, which is required for.
I have a different error here. I could not allocate requested partitions. Partitioning failed. Not enough space left to create partition.
Oh, yes, yes. It needed more space actually. It needed at least 20 GB to start with. So that's what I was thinking at that point. When we created this open filer, it needed at least 40 GB where it can partition for different space. Okay. So in that case, I'll have to basically we can add a disk here, but we'll go with, I just wanted to keep this installation simple. So I have to shut that down and I have to shut that down and create again. So we will create again. I think for today, it's fine, guys. I will, so let me actually, for you, if you want to do that on your own, let me share a video for this. And then we will continue that in the next lecture though.
Awesome. That's great. Thank you.
But hold on, let me just get get a video for
Are
this.
you going to make a video? Are you going to post a video, or you will share some videos
No, I will
already
for
on the
now.
internet?
For now, I will share with you a video, so that you can at least do that. Try to do that on your own. Just a second. Just a second. Give me a second here. So,
Manbhai, how much do we have to give it? Or would 40 GB be enough?
yeah, 40 GB. Just give it 40 GB.
Okay.
Installing OpenFiler. Yes, it's right here. This one, this video, part 1 and part 2. Two videos. So these are the two videos that I'm going to share in the WhatsApp group. So installing OpenFiler, this is vSphere 5.5, but it's not too different from 6.7. Okay, but OpenFiler video, this one, part 1 and part 2, you need to complete. You need to complete. This is exactly what we are doing just now. But there are so many steps that you need to do. So make sure you have a fresh mind, kind of, you have slept well, and then you can do it. Otherwise, it might give you some some tough, it might not give you a tough time. It might be a straightforward installation, but I would say just start fresh on this.
Okay.
Okay, so I'll share this link here, and you need to do part 1 and part 2.
Mhm.
Okay, guys, so please do that before the next lecture. And if you have any question, anywhere where you're stuck, just let me know in the WhatsApp, and we will continue this. I've just shared with you very basic information, and we'll go into more detail in the next lecture. But if you can do it before the lecture, that will be excellent. Please.
Where did you share, Nansal?
I am just sharing the OpenFiler installation and configuration. So
So
right
my
here. Right here, I think, so I want you to do video number 13 and 14. I'm sharing these two videos here.
I shared the link on the group, sir, in the chat window.
Yes, I am just sharing it now.
So I have a question, sir.
Yeah, yes,
OpenFiler,
please.
sir, if we want to increase from 8 GB to 40 GB, how do we do it in VMware? Like we have to
No,
remove 8 GB and
yes,
add it?
no, don't go into that path. That can work too. I mean, you can expand the disk if you can do it, but I would say just start fresh. Delete that VM and create a new VM. When it comes to the disk space, just change 8 GB to 40 GB.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, excellent. Thank you, Naveed. You just shared the link. And
Yes, sir.
so, guys, I will share that in the WhatsApp group as well. And please review the disk. It's not a difficult technology. Again, all we need to do is to have a little bit focus on this. And by the end of the training, you will feel more and more confident. Okay, everyone, this is all for
Awesome.
today. And we will see each other in the next lecture.
Thank you,
Inshallah.
sir.
Thank you,
Can you
Adnan
please
bhai.
add me to the WhatsApp group?
Yes,
The video?
I'll add you to the WhatsApp group, Abdullah. Abdullah, can you just ping me on WhatsApp? Do you have my WhatsApp number?
I think I have. Yeah, I
Or
do
you
have.
can share your number. I can add you there because I couldn't find you in the. Are you in the CanApps IT forum group?
Yes, I have. From there only I picked up.
Okay,
This is
okay,
my
okay.
number.
If you can just ping me, then I will add you to the WhatsApp group. Okay, I'll add you to the WhatsApp group now.
Thank you.
Okay, you're most welcome. Thank you, everyone, and we'll see each other in the next lecture. Thank you.
Adnan bhai, before you go, can you just check my
Yes,
DHCP?
yes, for sure, for sure. Show me your DHCP and share with me your screen.
Still you are okay. So, sir,
Okay, so your IP address is 192.150. Okay.
uh,
But hold on. This is your scope is 100.0, but your DHCP IP address is 150 dot something. If you
oh
go
yeah,
back to the local server, your this is different. So
oh yes,
right. So this is so your problem is the scope and the IP address.
okay, 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 I got it. So, by the way, uh, I just checked it. Like it's was
No, no,
able to.
everything is fine. You do understand everything. So you disabled DHCP on excellent. You did everything fine, but you saw your problem. It's just a different scope.
Oh, okay. So the scope should be the like servers, right?
Exactly. Yes.
Okay, okay then.
Okay.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Very good. See you in the next lecture, inshallah.
Thanks.
Assalamu alaikum.